tí ò bá sí àwa èmi tí ń dúró wájú yìí tí ń lérí ogun tí ní òkè Buhari nìṣó ká máa bá lọ. Kò lè di president. Ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀, ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀, ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀. Ó tiẹ̀ sunkún lórí tẹlifíṣàn pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́. Mo dẹ̀ lọ bá Kaduna wa rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún kọ́ lélẹ̀ àdúró tiẹ̀ wàá dẹ̀ wọlé. Nǹkan kan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré. Ó dẹ̀ gbà. Àtijọ́ tó yẹ ti débẹ̀ mi ò gba mínísítà, mi ò gba contract, mi ì tọrọ ọbẹ̀, mi ì tọrọ gàrí, mi ì tọrọ fúra lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ìyàwó ń bẹ̀ ó wá ní lọ́tẹ̀ yìí o Yorùbá ló kàn. tá a bá dẹ̀ sa Yorùbá náà èmi ló kàn.
I'm going to be president of this country, whether you like it or not, and I will preside over the affairs of this country, including presiding over you. I think you must start adjusting to that reality. The sooner you do that, the less chest pains you'll have when that reality comes.
So now, the Iranians said they launched missiles towards American warships. In fact, it's an American aircraft carrier called Abraham Lincoln. It's off the Gulf Coast, deep into the seas. So the Iranians said they launched missiles towards that, and they struck it. And very, very quickly, the Iranians put it out in the media space, in the social media space. And then very, very quickly, the Americans came out to debunk it. Do you understand that the missiles never struck them? So what does that tell us? It doesn't really matter if those missiles struck the American, is it a carrier? It doesn't really matter if the Iranian drone, is it drones? The Iranian missiles, it does not really matter if the Iranian missiles struck the American ship carrier or not, the American warboat. It doesn't really matter if it struck, but it signals a particular thing. So one, the missiles being launched, it tells the Americans that the Iranians they're essentially telling the Americans that we know you are there and we're out to get you. So whether those missiles struck or not is immaterial, but it signals an intent one. And then it also tells you that the Iranians are signaling to the Americans that they think they are moving by stealth, but they know where they are and they are reaching to strike them. So what does that tell us? The Iranians don't have satellites in the sky, which they are able to use to monitor the American armadas, the American military armadas. So the Iranians don't have satellites in the sky to monitor that, but China does, Russia does. So what does this tell us? This tells us that there are sympathies leaning in support of the Iranians. That's the only interpretation, because one, they should not be able to know the movement of those fleets, of that fleet rather, not those fleets, but that fleet. They should not be able to know the movement of that fleet because they don't have the satellites to do the tracking. But the Chinese do, and the Russians do. Do you get where I'm coming from? So good day to you, good to be in your company, and all that. Good day to you, good to be in your company. So that's how we are starting. Are we on the cusp of, in fact, it's not even are we are on the cusp of the Third World War. And it's only one man that can pull us back from the precipice, and it's that burger muncher that sits in the Oval Office. So that's where we are now. So there is no other story other than the story. But how does this play out for Nigeria even? So a whole raft of everything. You know, we have a good, a decent-sized complement of Shiite Muslims. The Iranians, they are predominantly Shiites. and I think they're the lead Shiite nation. I think there are about 5, 6, 7 thereabout Shiite countries. Shiite is the counterweight of the Sunni Islam. There are several strands of. Let me just start from the beginning. There are several strands of Islam, but there are two main strains. So several strands, two main strains. So those two main strains, one controls about 80-85% of the global Muslims, the ideology that underpins the global Muslims. One controls that, and then one controls about 15 to 20% of the globalized Islam ideologically. So the first strain is Sunni, which is the Saudi Arabian inflection of Islam. And then the other one is Shiite, which is the Iranian inflection of Islam. So the spiritual home of that Shiite movement is in Islam. It is in Iran, rather. So now the Ayatollah being killed is almost tantamount to a deity being killed. So the response then it's Shiite wide, not just even. It's not a nation state essentially. It could well turn into a religious war. And the Iranians are even inviting that religious war by launching missiles I think they struck as far as, did they strike Turkey? You know, I know they struck Syria, they struck Qatar, they struck Dubai, everywhere. So they were just spraying missiles everywhere, inviting everybody to come into that fight so that others will come in on their behalf. And then I ask again, are we on the precipice of the Third World War? So on the precipice of the Third World War, good day to you, good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you, good to be in your company. Hope you're having a gloriously wonderful. Did they not strike Turkey? I'm pretty certain they struck Syria anyway. I know they struck Qatar. I know they struck is it Abu Dhabi? I know that there's rumors that they struck or tried to strike the airport in Dubai, because all the airlines are shut down, by the way. Everybody is stranded in Dubai now, Abu Dhabi. Everybody now is stranded in the Middle East. So if you're there on holiday and you were meant to report back to work tomorrow, then tough luck to you. Expect your P45 and your sack letter when you do get back. Why did you travel to a war zone is the thing. So all that. Good day to you, good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you, good to be in your company, and how are you? Hope you're having a gloriously wonderful day so far. The day gets even better for spending time in the company of this peculiar sounding Oyo Alaafin man, which is me, of course. The day gets better for spending time in my company, I hope. Mine certainly gets better for spending time in your company. The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button as I'm inviting you to do so. Click on like. Click on subscribe if you're not already subscribed. There's a poll on every stream asking you if you have liked and subscribed. So do as requested and then click on that poll to let us know if you have liked and subscribed. As everywhere, we have targets. We have 20 new subscribers to come on board today. So you'll be one of those 20. Click on like, click on subscribe. If you want to engage in this conversation, click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard, come into the studio. Share the links as widely as you can. Super chat towards the stream. And then, of course, say hello to me in the comment section so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back. So say hello to me in the comment section, acknowledge your presence, say hello back, and let me know where you're joining us from as well. So that's Hassan right there saying, hey, one man, hey to you, Hassan. That's Ayo right there saying continuity, singing along with the Tinubu campaign song. Today is right there. And that's Oga right there. So that good to see you, Oga. And that's Lit Igwe right there, otherwise known as Charlie Boy. So keep saying hello in the comment section. Anytime I pause for breath, I'll acknowledge your presence, say hello back to you. So, I mean, all the funk is in play. It's just, you know, I wonder if they will find the way to sort of impeach this Donald Trump. I don't think it's spent barely 2 years and it's already blowing up the whole world. So the story starts and it kicks off from here. Let me know if we can hear this in the comment section.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
And there it is right there. It's almost like the referee blowing the whistle for the game to start. So it's all go now. And there it is right there. So it's saying it's yours to take. We're doing this for you. I wonder if that broadcast was actually meant to go to Tel Aviv rather than Tehran, because of course it's not doing anything for the Iranians. It's doing everything for the Israelis. So that was how it started. And well, that's how it started anyway. But how does this impact on Nigeria? But before we get to its impact on Nigeria, actually, let's look at some data points. So yes, it says a country most likely to be involved in World War III. So if this does escalate to a third world war, then the chances, the risks of other countries being involved is on a gradient level. So very, very highly that the Americans will be involved, the Israelis, the Russians, certainly Pakistan. There's already protesting going on in Pakistan. They're telling us that let's see, it says countries most likely to be involved in World War III, high chance. So the United States, very high, of course. They're the ones instigating it. The Iranians, very high. They're the other protagonists. The Israelis, very high. They're the puppet masters. The Russians, very high, because they have vested interest. The Pakistanis are high, because there's already protests going on in Pakistan now. The Ukrainians, I'm not quite sure how high they will be. The North Koreans is high. China is high. Because like I said, there's a religious element to this. So spaces that either have a political interest or a religious interest or a combination of the two, there's a very high chance that they will be reacting to what's going on. And that is where this gradient, this tabulation, that's where it's coming from. So, of course, as I said, the Americans, the instigators, the Iranians, the protagonists, the Israelis, the puppet master, the Russians, vested political interest, the Pakistani religious interest, they're already protesting in Pakistan, as I said. The Ukrainians, maybe out of solidarity with America, the North Koreans, for reasons of them being a nuclear power, geopolitics brings China into play, but Nigeria is also on that list, that if this thing escalates at the rate that it's going, if it becomes like a global thing that leads to somewhat the veneer, the sort of a hint of a third world war, there'll be activities in Nigeria in that regard, because we have a strong complement of Shiite Muslims in Nigeria. So those are the countries. Other countries as well, Congo, Sudan, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, Niger Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso, Somalia, Libya, Lebanon, Myanmar. So those countries are most likely to see activities if this thing continues to escalate. Medium chance of any activity in India, they don't care. Indonesia, you'd have thought, because they're a Muslim country as well. I'm not quite sure how they formed this gradient, but there it is right there. That's how they've measured it. It says yes, This ranking is a geopolitical risk analysis based on current global tension and international relations. It is not a prediction of an actual World War III scenario. So the source is World Population Review. So the chances of Nigeria being co-opted into this war is high. So there it is right there. And just to back that up, here is activities on that war already going on in Nigeria now. So this is going on somewhere, I suspect, in the north. They're responding then to the killing of the Ayatollah. So let's have a little feel of this. So those are the Shiite Muslims in Nigeria responding then to the death of the Ayatollah. It will be somewhere in Kaduna because I think that's where the concentration of the Shiites is in Nigeria. Somebody correct me in the comment section. It doesn't tell us the location, but I know that the Shiites have a strong population in Kaduna. So that's the Nigerian space already responding to what's going on. But what does this war actually mean to Nigeria and for Nigeria? How U.S. Israeli war with Iran may affect Nigeria. As the United States and Israel escalate military action against Iran, analysts warn that the consequences could extend far beyond the Middle East, with implications for global oil market, inflation, and cost of living in countries such as Nigeria. Israel and the United States launched missile strikes on Iran on Saturday. The strikes came 2 days after Iran and the U.S. held indirect discussion over Tehran's nuclear program, echoing a similar episode last June when Israel struck Iran midway into negotiations between the Americans and the Iranians. The renewed escalation is already reverberating across global energy markets. Brent crude rose by 3.6% to trade at $73 per barrel. So that is where I was really looking to right there in terms of impact. Do you remember when we had the last Gulf War, when they attacked the Iraqis? There was a real real boom in the oil prices. That was the Gulf oil windfall under the Babangida era. He stole all of it, of course. Which concerns mounting over the strategic Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global oil shipment. The ripple effects may soon be felt across many oil-dependent economies worldwide, including Nigeria. The Nigerian government has called on the warring parties to end hostilities and resume dialogue. So the Strait of Hormuz under pressure. Amidst the attacks, some major oil and trading companies have reportedly suspended shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. Our ships will stay put for several days, a top executive of a major trading company told Reuters. About 20 million barrels of crude and other fuel types pass daily through the narrow waterway between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. The strait is vital for export from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and Iran. Any disruption, so it's not actually on the Nigerian route is where the main thing is, but it's on the route, is the main route for all the major oil exporting countries, especially Saudi Arabia, the biggest, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, Iran. So if they are not able to supply oil, then the prices of oil will just shoot through the roof. The strait is vital to export from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and Iran. Any disruption or even the threat of one typically triggers sharp spikes in oil prices and shipping insurance costs. Although Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates operate alternative pipelines that bypasses the strait, analysts note that these routes cannot fully accommodate the total volume of crude that usually transits that corridor. So this is how it impacts Nigeria. Nigerian macroeconomic impact, with Brent crude trading above Nigeria's 2026 budget benchmark of $64.85 per barrel, higher prices could boost export earnings, strengthening foreign reserves, and increasing inflow into the Federation account, potentially raising FAC allocations to federal, state, and local governments. However, the benefit may be offset by structural realities. Despite being Africa's largest oil producer, Nigeria still imports a portion of its refined crude products. These imported refined products, such as petrol and aviation fuel, I wonder how this actually affects Dangote in terms of its profit line. Despite being Africa's largest oil producer, Nigeria still imports a portion of its refined petroleum products. These imported refined products, such as petrol and aviation fuel, are susceptible to price volatility, and prices are expected to rise as international crude price rises. The major functional refinery in Nigeria also imports a lot of its crude. As of mid-2025, the Dangote refinery reportedly imported between 9 to 10 million barrels of crude per month to sustain operations amid supply constraints. An increase in the price of crude is expected to rise the price of petrol and other refined products by the refinery. So it could affect how much they are selling petrol at the pumps, is what this tells us essentially. If global crude prices continue to rise, the cost of refined products, including petrol and diesel, could increase domestically, worsening inflation and deepening the cost of living crisis. Higher shipping and insurance costs will further raise the price of imported goods, with ripple effects on transportation, food distribution, and household expenses. Air travel and mobility disruption. So that's another expected impact on the Nigerian state. Potential security risk. Analysts also warn of potential domestic security concerns. The Islamic Movement in Nigeria, IMN, a pro-Iran aligned Shiite group led by Ibrahim el-Zakzaki, has historically organized protests in solidarity with Iran, particularly in Abuja and Kaduna. The group also chanted "Death to America, Death to Israel" during its rallies, even when there was no war between the parties. Given the group's ideological alignment, the US-Israeli strikes could become an emotional and political flashpoint. Previous IMN demonstrations in Abuja and Kaduna have, at times, resulted in clashes with security forces, leading to casualties, arrest, and property damage. Security experts caution that if large-scale protests are forcibly dispersed, tension could escalate and disrupt public order in affected cities. So that's the impact that we're anticipating on Nigeria. And then Sheikh Gumi comes into that space. Iran's supreme leader Khomeini died in jihad. So that's his inflection on it. I didn't even know Sheikh Gumi was a Shiite. Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has reacted to the death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khomeini, describing him as a lucky soul who died in jihad. In a post shared on his Facebook page on Sunday, Gumi said Khomeini died in jihad against killers of innocent children and women in Gaza and elsewhere. I wonder if that is his thoughts on the bandits being killed as well. He probably thinks the bandits, the Fulani bandits, the Boko Haram bandits, he probably thinks they are martyrs too. He added that Khomeini's blood will fuel the change in the Ummah, noting that the Iranian leader stood firmly for justice and did not hide in bunkers. He wrote, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a lucky soul, he died in jihad against killers of innocent children and women in Gaza and elsewhere. His blood will fuel the change in the Ummah. He stood firmly for justice and did not hide in bunkers. For those who killed him or assisted in killing him, let us see what they will live to do in this world. So that sounds like a threat of some sort. So I hope he's not going to try and instigate something in Nigeria. He can go to America or Tel Aviv, or if he wants to go after the people that killed his leader. So that's that. Let's go from that to this state with least domestic debt in Nigeria. So this is the result of this now new windfall that they're getting off the back of the removal of the subsidies. So the least indebted states in Nigeria is what this metric tells us. Jigawa is only owing 1 billion naira, 1.6 billion naira. That's their debt stock as at Q3 2025. Ondo 9.5 billion, not dollars, so naira. So Jigawa is 1.6 billion naira. Ondo 9.5 billion naira. Kogi 14.3 billion naira. A lot of that in Yahaya Bello's pocket, of course. Ebonyi 14.6 billion naira. Kebbi 14.8. Katsina 17 billion naira. Nasarawa 22. Kaduna 23. Anambra 26. So I thought Soludo told us he wasn't borrowing any money. 26.6 billion naira is the debt stock of Anambra State. Yobe, 36.3 billion naira is their debt stock. Sokoto, 47 billion naira. Borno, 47 billion naira. It says, in a period when the average state's domestic debt stood at over 108 billion naira, Jigawa stood in clear isolation. In Q3 2025, the state's domestic debt was recorded at just 1.6 billion naira. Jigawa's debt level represents only 0.04 of the national. So that is to tell you that there's no development taking place in Jigawa. They cannot be carrying out infrastructural development and be that under leveraged. So that is to tell you that there's nothing in terms of development going on in Jigawa. Jigawa's debt level represented only 0.04 of the national total, while other low debt states such as Borno and Sokoto were approaching the 50 billion naira mark. Jigawa's liability was nearly 30 times smaller than the state ranked next in the bottom 12, Ondo. So that's that right there. I'm not quite sure what we got from that, but that's that right there. So there was this story of Tinubu being poisoned or attempts to poison Tinubu. That was actually going to be my headline before I decided to change it round and do the one that was intended to do yesterday. So that was going to be my headline. I think I've got a clip somewhere to play here. So let me just I had that clip just now. Who did I send that? I sent that clip to somebody, so I should have it to hand. 1 second. Yeah, there was a clip of yes, is this it? All right, 1 second. All right, let me play you this.
Today, we examine reports surrounding the shocking arrest of a presidential chef over an alleged plot to poison President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an incident that has prompted swift intervention by a special police squad and triggered heightened security measures within the presidential environment. According to preliminary information from security sources, the arrest followed intelligence alerts suggesting suspicious activities connected to food preparation procedures within restricted areas linked to presidential operations. Authorities moved quickly after receiving credible reports that indicated a possible threat to the safety of the president, leading to a coordinated investigation involving specialized security personnel tasked with protecting national leadership. Officials emphasized that the operation was carried out professionally and discreetly to avoid public panic, while ensuring that all potential risks were neutralized. The suspect, identified as a member of kitchen staff attached to presidential services, has begun examining evidence and verifying claims connected to the alleged poisoning attempt. Security agencies have urged the public to remain calm, stressing that the investigation remains ongoing and that allegations do not automatically imply guilt until due process. Today, we examine reports surrounding the shocking arrest of a president.
All right. So that story was widely circulated yesterday. It was widely circulated, but then the government have now come out to debunk it. But I think they're just trying to cover it up. So with this now, this will be the second attempt at Tinubu's life. Remember, there was a coup that was going to be brutal and bloody. So that was the first attempt at his life. And now this is now the second attempt at his life, essentially. But they've now come out to debunk it. But the story was so widespread yesterday that it's almost certain that it is true. No Aso Rock kitchen staff attempted to poison Tinubu. This is the presidency. The presidency has dismissed circulating social media reports alleging that kitchen staff at the Aso Rock presidential villa were arrested over an alleged plot to poison President Bola Tinubu. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, took to his official X account on Sunday to share a video of the report and categorically deny it. The video purportedly shows activities at the presidential villa, accompanied by a voiceover reporting the incident. It claimed, "Today we examine reports surrounding the shocking arrest of a presidential chef over an alleged plot to poison President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an incident that has prompted swift intervention by a special police squad and triggered heightened security measures within the presidential environment." So where's the... so we've already heard that. So let's go to what Bayo Ononuga said. However, Ononuga dismissed the report as baseless fake news. He wrote, "No Aso Rock kitchen staff arrested. No Aso Rock kitchen staff attempted to poison President Tinubu. Please ignore this fake news being disseminated by this video. Authorities have not provided further details on the origin of the misleading video or potential motives behind it." So if it's not true, then it has to be the obedience. It has all of the workings of an obedient type. So that's what they will do, isn't it? Just to seed the idea out there. So to seed the idea out there. So let's go on from that to this. This is this clash now between their golden boy, Alex Oti, and a journalist asking perfectly legitimate questions. It says, "You are very stupid and acting irresponsible for asking me questions about transparency and economic data." Alex Oti to a BON journalist during a media chat. "I am just here thinking if this was..." Okay, so that's somebody's opinion. So let's see how the exchange went. Let's see what the exchange is all about.
My name is Chika Wampueze. from Dawn Media Group. Your Excellency, your administration has received praise for visible infrastructure projects and reforms. But critics say that measurable impact, transparency, and inclusive governance need improvement. Your Excellency, I want to ask, can you provide verifiable data showing how your policies have directly improved the economic and living conditions of ordinary Abians?
You've not said anything. Do you live in Abia?
I would have thought that was a perfectly legitimate question that guy was asking, but then of course it's a volley of aggression that the response from Alex Otti.
Okay, so if you live in Umuahia, you are the one that will provide data. The point is that this media chat is a serious media chat. So we are not here to massage opposition. You can't come to a media chat and you are asking me to provide data about the measurable impact on work that is being done in the state where you live. It's irresponsible. Okay, that we throw this open for people to ask questions doesn't mean that people should be stupid. So that's very serious.
How is that an unreasonable question to ask? How is that stupid? Mr. Governor, can you provide proof of the work that you have done, that you are getting all this aplomb and praise for, that everybody is patting you on the back? Can you show us some data to show exactly what you have done? How is that an unreasonable question to ask?
Okay. I mean, speech is free, so you can, but when you come for my media chat, you must be prepared. If you don't have any questions, then you don't raise your hand. What do you mean? What do you want to hear from me?
Beyond road infrastructure, can we know about the positive impact, the economic impact on the living conditions of the average Abian that your policies have impacted?
That's not my business. What my business is to deliver on my promises. So it is for you as a journalist if you actually want. So if you want the governor to sit and then tell you the economic impact.
So it is not his business to tell people what he has, how he has positively impacted on the people that he swore to govern, to work for. Sorry, how is that? Am I missing something? What's the reason for his angst? Why is he riled up? What have you done that has you've been there what 3 years and a bit now? What have you done that has positively impacted these people? So this speaks to a lot of things, by the way. It speaks to the arrogance of Alex Otti, that's one, and then it speaks to his lack of capacity to think on his feet. Because if he was able to think on his feet, then he would have deferred that question rather than try to deflect it. Do you understand? They say, you cannot ask me at this point to run you through a list, but I will make sure that my office provides you with a detailed breakdown of what we have been doing so far. The ones that come, so he could have done that, but his arrogance got ahead of his thinking, and now he's shouting abuse at the guy. If they are applauding this guy and he's getting so much acclaim as an achiever and a doer, he should be able to reel those things off just off the top of his tongue, or they should roll out of his tongue like whatever. So I'm not quite sure what exactly he's fighting that journalist over.
But then something is wrong.
So that was Alex Otti right there. Do you know what they call that? Do you know what they call things like what he just did? They call it an arrogance of ignorance. So that was an example of arrogance of ignorance right there. What else have we got? What else have we got? We have a whole raft of other things. Let's see what's loading up there. Yes, you know, this push for state policing is gaining real momentum, or it looks as though Tinubu is going to try and force it through. Let me show you this one. Senate, we will deliver state police by year end. So I think Tinubu is quite keen to bag and target in this parliament. The Senate has stated that it will complete the amendment of the 1999 Constitution to allow for the creation of state police before the end of before the end of 2026. The Senate spokesperson, Yemi Adara Modu, told correspondents on Friday that the upper chamber would immediately resume work on the constitutional review once plenary reconvenes next week. This follows President Bola Tinubu's request to the National Assembly to begin the process of amending the Constitution to incorporate state police as part of efforts to tackle the nation's insecurity challenges. Speaking to members of, anyway, so that's that. They are promising to do it within this parliament. That's the thing. So this is the last one now. You know, there's rumors of cabinet reshuffling going on, and I won't be surprised if, for all of his achievements, if Dave Umahi, if it's removed, I won't be surprised if Dave Umahi is removed. He's caught with his trousers down yet again, harassing some girl for you know what, for bedroom antics. So and when they questioned him about it, what he said was even more shocking than the allegation. Listen to this. So that's Dave Umahi right there, being accused of sexual harassment against some girl. So this is the last one now. The link is in the comment section. Anybody that wants to comment. Oh, you did not hear that, did you? Oh, all right, I'll download it and I'll play it to you. So that's no, but you heard the rest of them now. So why couldn't you hear that? Let me just, I'll download that and I'll play it to you in the studio. Let's just do Google. Hold on one sec. You know, this is how I usually do these things. So for some of you that may wonder, this is how I do it. Then you just pop it in there, and then you download it. Hold on one second. I'm just going to, let me grab that quickly. Are you grabbing or not? Yes. So we take that, and then we put it in the studio. What did your need do, Niger man? All right. So that's that. So we wait for that to load up. As that is loading up, let me just show you this. So still going back to the Iran USA war, are we calling it now? So all of the advantages weigh in the direction of the United States. Their defense budget, the United States, is nearly $1 trillion. $895 billion is what they are spending on defense. Iran, $15 billion. The United States land area, the land mass, 9.8 million square kilometer. Iran, 1.6 million square kilometer. The United States population, 342 million. Iran, 88.3. I thought the Iranians were actually larger in population than that. Active military personnel, 1,328,000 the Americans, 610,000 the Iranians. Reserve military personnel, nearly 800,000 the Americans, 350,000 the Iranians. Aircraft fighters, 1,790 to the Americans, 188 to the Iranians, and on it goes. So completely out-muscled. They can just nuclear warhead, 5,244 in the Americans, 0 to the Iranians. So the Americans can finish them off in one swoop. Let me play you the Umahi clip, and then I will see if anybody turns up.
I want to thank a lot of you. You know me very well, party chairman. I own no party. And of course, I presided over both men and women, and nobody ever said, I harassed him or I voted him. Deputy governor of the state, governor for 8 years, and I did fantastic infrastructure. So nobody could come and say he's been voted, unless the person is being achieved. So what you read on social media, I'm not worried about it. It makes me stronger, and I've fought many battles. So this is nothing. There's nothing wrong to say, oh, you are chasing a woman. But if it is Natasha that is accusing me of chasing her, then my face will be bolder. But not anyhow person that will accuse this handsome man of chasing him for 12 years. That person must be the Queen of England. Because any one man that cannot chase Senator Natasha for 12 years. So it's just to make social media to be alive. But I think we can turn our attention to the war in Iran now, and then allow Dave Umahi to bless.
Oh, all right. So that's Dave Umahi right there, caught with his trousers down. So that's Dave Umahi right there, caught with his trousers down. I'll play the Kegite music, see who turns up.
Only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro keke elemu ye o. Ibe shodi ya keke elemu re o. Obi master keke elemu re o. Chief Latif keke elemu re o. Eruku lele elemude. Eruku lele egbe elemudodo jare o. Eruku lele Ghana ti de egbe body o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o òdìlé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o òdìlé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o òdìlé o. Petrosodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ òdìlé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And it is right there. Kuku Neruba Gbeche, may death have nothing to do with us. You know, I was rehearsing my exit speech. Oh, that thank everyone. See you tomorrow. But then up pops Hassan. So good to see you, Hassan. I was just about to bail out. Nakwana Lafiako Alhaji. Are you there, Hassan? Are you there, Hassan?
One man.
What's going on? You know how this how it works now. How are you?
I got distracted. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Good to have you here.
Yeah. The time is just so odd.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's very early in the morning where you are. Very early in the morning where I am as well.
Well, it is what it is.
So what are you making of the orange man, as you call him? You know, what's he doing? I mean, what's he? What exactly? What's the provocation? What's the justification? What underpins this?
Oh, okay. The thing is, right. It is just a catastrophic blunder of the highest proportions. Like all through my life, I've never seen a strategic blunder as big as this one. And let me explain why. First of all, I know Donald Trump is dumb, right? Anybody that has 2 neurons firing in his brain knows that Donald Trump is just dumb. Yeah, he may be a white supremacist, a con man, and all that. You know, but usually people who are hateful, very judgmental, usually something is wrong with them. And yeah, he's confident, but he's a dumb asshole. For someone who is president of the United States, you know, you have a lot of resources given to you, you know, before you make a decision. There is enough information to guide you. But, you know, the hubris of, you know, actually being president and actually having a lot of confidence that's not coming from competence, this is what it produces. Somebody who overestimates his value, overestimates his ability to do things, and don't actually take decisions very seriously. So the highest general, I think, in the Joint Chief of Staff is a Carney, one General Carney like that. The day before yesterday, if you've been following, like he warned that he can't see any other way that the United States is going to engage in what they are planning to engage with without significantly harming the interest of the United States in such a way that the United States may no longer be able to control the variables. This is one of the things. So one man, I know you are a history buff. Let me ask you something so that maybe our discussions will be a little bit more nuanced and you may understand where I'm coming from. Are you there? One man.
So sorry, I'm here. I'm listening. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, but I am listening. Carry on. What's the question?
Okay, my question is, right. I don't know whether you read a lot of history, not fiction, history.
Right. Take me there. Let's hear it.
Okay. There is a particular genre when you read history, but this genre is specific. The genre is about strategy in warfare. It's a particular genre in history of war. So usually people who write are actually soldiers, monarchs, and generals, you know. The popular ones are people like Sun Tzu, Karl von Clausewitz, and people talk about Hannibal Barca. People talk about what's the name of this Greek general?
All right, take us to where you want us to be. Take us there.
Okay. You see, in war, right? there is this when you go through the history of war, especially around people who actually do the thinking, strategy, objectives, and or operational peculiarities, what you find consistently is that there is this binary thinking. What do I mean by binary thinking? Because war is essentially a decision of life and death. So when you are in the battlefield, you choose whether to do the best thing that makes you live, or if you fail to do what is right, you die and you make your men die, right? So the thinking is always binary. There is no nuance there. So that is a consistent theme. And there is this formula and quality about the way that journal is written that is consistent across time, cultures. There's a pattern that just emerges, that no matter where it was written, how many years it was written, if you know it, when you start to read, immediately you can get it. It's just like chess. And if you are good in chess, you are good in chess. So it's similar. So what I wanted to just say is that, you see, what victory means for Donald Trump is not what victory means for Khomeini. What losing means for Donald Trump is not what losing means.
Which Khomeini are you talking about? The one that is 6 foot under?
Which one I'm talking about? Which one I'm talking? Which one I'm talking about? Is that what you are asking me?
Yes.
One man, one for you. Allow him to speak now.
I'm talking about the one that is dead.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
So
one that is dead.
it's not taking any victory now. What victory is it taking?
Okay, you see, that is the problem. That is the strategic blunder. Do you think martyrdom is as a concept is a lie? Do you think it doesn't exist?
Not a martyr, though.
I'm asking you. Don't deflect.
No, I don't believe in it, because with martyrdom comes fanatism.
I don't need you to believe in it. It's not matter. It's not a matter of belief.
Yes.
There is an objective reality, right?
Right.
Of course, if you go back in history, you see people who have become martyred and have had impact even after they are dead. Do you?
I don't think. Hold on. I don't think Khomeini will be martyred, because I'm not quite sure how well liked he is, even in his country or his religion. I'm not quite sure how popular he is.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've been seeing images of celebrations in Iran when his death was announced.
No, let's not do that now, man. We cannot take two people, or even if you show me 1 million people and there are another 102 million others in Iran, you cannot use that as evidence, right?
Carry on.
Okay, so what I'm saying essentially is that, you see, the Shi'i sect is a sect that glorifies martyrdom. And when Trump was engaging with these people, they essentially gave him everything. Everything. Do you know, a day before yesterday in Geneva, Pezeshkian and their negotiator actually agreed to stop 100% enrichment of uranium in order for them to not have to do this war. But Trump and his
but that's too little, too late now, because what that strategy tells us is that they are just going to either wait for the smoke to blow over or wait even longer for the Trump administration to see itself out?
Let's not play moral superiority here.
Who
we're not started the betraying and not keeping to their words?
How do you mean?
How do you hear me? Who
started? It's not a matter.
That was not their first meeting.
Hold on, Hassan. It's not a narrative of impeachment. Hold on. Just hold on, because we have to. You are saying and yes, you are right. They were meant to actually have further meetings on Monday, which is today. And rather than those meetings, the Israelis propelled Donald Trump to start throwing bombs. But that's an aside. So even if they agreed that they're going to stop enrichment, so that is not to say that they would destroy the facility, and which is to tell you then that they are either going to wait for this phase of tension to ebb away, to fade away, or wait even longer for Trump to no longer be in power, and then they just continue.
I hear you.
So what I'm hearing from you right now. Too little.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. What I'm hearing from you right now, it is essentially you who is supporting the party that have consistently agreed.
I'm not supporting anybody.
No.
I'm just striking the balance.
You can't absolve yourself now.
No, I don't have a stake in it now. I'm not Arab. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Iranian.
I also do not
it doesn't affect me in any way now.
Now, are we not just discussing?
Yeah, carry on. But I have no stake in it, though. That's just my thing.
I know.
Yeah. Carry on. Yeah.
Okay. So, if you right now where you're coming from is to assume the worst of Khomeini and the Iranians, and then that puts you at the other side of the United States, who first of all removed the first democratically elected president of Iran, replaced him with a subservient monarch. The monarch was building luxurious party venues and palaces in desert while his people were starving. And then the Shah was removed, replaced by
one man. Can I ask Hassan a question?
No, not yet, ma'am.
Okay, hurry up so I can ask you a question.
Okay, let me finish. So, the Islamic Republic of Iran, led by the Ayatollahs, began. Now, what happened? Sanction. So, even the people in Iran right now,
why the sanction though? You skipped a bit. They were
because they wanted to control
proliferation. They were flouting the non-proliferation. Is it proliferation? How do you pronounce that word?
Non-proliferation treaty.
Yes, they were flouting that. That's why they were being sanctioned.
No.
They were not being sanctioned for being
misrepresentation.
Okay. What was the?
You come on the table and you don't want to bring.
Now let's not take it there. Let's not take it to emotions. Why were they being sanctioned?
Emotional now.
Why were they being sanctioned?
Okay, so see, the United States is not a signatory of the already have the nuclear power, and Israel is also not a member. Iran, however, is a member. Now, have you ever read the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and what it actually says? What it allows you to do and what it allows you not to do? Just because you signed that does not mean that you cannot own and use nuclear power for civilian purposes.
Yeah, but what they are saying is they are not using it. They're enriching it beyond the
it's a lie. It's propaganda. Just because you buy it hook, line, and sinker, it doesn't mean it's true.
Then why are they being attacked? Why are they being attacked? You tell me why you think that.
Now you're asking. Okay, let me just connect something to you, right?
All right.
what is the common denominator? What is the similarity between Venezuela, Nigeria, and Iran?
Oh, are you talking about oil?
I'm asking, just answer.
Well, okay, go on. You think it's an oil grab?
It's a pattern.
This is your reading. That's too pedestrian. It's an oil grab.
One man. Look, if I run my software
America already has
on your system,
America already has Venezuela. Azan, let me quickly chip in this. America already has Venezuela. America has enough relationship in the Middle East to be able to buy oil from anyone. They could buy from Qatar, they could buy from UAE, they could buy from Saudi Arabia. You understand? Now they have Venezuela.
That is actually the pedestrian argument.
They could buy from us. They could get from Libya. So oil is not it. What is your address? Sorry,
what is not in your orbit will not reflect in your financial books. It is your ability.
Can you guys allow me to ask my question? It's going to be.
I haven't finished mine. Everybody is getting triggered because they don't like.
No, it's a simple question.
All right. Let's do it this way. Hold on, Hassan. Hold on. You can't say most people don't understand. They don't agree with you. Let me finish. Just hold on. Hold on. Let's structure it this way. Let Patoskey have that little window. You land your point. Let Choma ask you the question, and then we carry on. So Patoskey, put it in quickly, and then you use it to land that point. Choma wants to ask a question as well.
Now, while you are speaking, I want you to speak to the fact that the other Arab nations around them are not in support of this, are not supporting them in this. And then two, the activities of Iran in arming militants in other countries. They're having issues with Saudi Arabia. The militants in Yemen, they are being armed by Iran.
They are the main sponsors of Hezbollah.
Yeah, they are sponsoring Hezbollah. They are sponsoring the Houthis. There are a lot of things all around the Middle East there. You might want to accept it or not. You might want to say it's not true.
No, don't put anything on me. Let me just answer.
Qatar is not supporting them. Saudi Arabia is against them. UAE is currently against them. So you should look into that context.
All right. Back to your son. And then open the window for Choma to ask you a question as well.
I will after this then Choma. Okay, you first of all, Iran is Shia, and Bahrain is Shia. Before Bashar al-Assad of Syria was removed, the Alawites were Shi'i too. So the Shi'i are the minority in the two main, sects in Islam. Now, what you need to understand also is the fact that the divide between Shia and Sunni usually have had Sunnis in Shia-dominated areas and Shia in Sunni-dominated areas. And sometimes you find that the ruling class is Shi'i, and the commoners are Sunni. And then in some places you find Sunni as ruling, while the majority of the population are Shi'i. Some of these arrangements were actually British. You know, when the British do some things, there is usually some form of, what do I say, evil intention around, doing things like that. But anyway, I digress. Look, the standard that people are trying to hold Iran to, they will not hold any other country to that standard. They are only holding Iran standard to that standard because Iran carries Islamic Republic, and their spiritual leader wears a turban, and all of you have been brainwashed to think you are some morally superior Christians because Donald Trump, who I don't even believe knows what God is, and America is where you get your information, and the West. So anything Muslim evokes something negative in you guys.
No.
Mana
I would have thought, Hassan, I would have thought that you'll be celebrating. You are a Sunni Muslim. And
I am not celebrating.
I thought the Shias were your mortal enemies.
You see, that is your problem. That is your misunderstanding. They say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are also Muslims. And you have to also understand that my type of Islam is not the type of Islam. It's not Wahhabism. It's Sunni, but not Wahhabi. It's
but take the religion out of it. Just immorality behind the action.
The reason why most of you, let me answer one man. The reason why I think Iran is generating this unwarranted hatred is because Iran is the only courageous and last standing Islamic nation not to give up on Palestine. To put their money where their mouth is. They are the only ones that have not yet been silenced. And whenever they get the chance to stand against those who were oppressed, they count. These guys are not cowards. These guys are warriors. This is a 5,000-year civilization.
All right, Hassan.
Anything on the Persians. So,
all right. I think we know where you are. Take your mass question.
Not where I am. Not where I am. Where you ought to be is to understand that you are on the wrong side for supporting genocide with the Zionists.
No, I am.
Can I please ask my question?
Yes, you can ask your question, but let me just say this. Just for the purposes of documenting it, I am with the Iranians because I cannot abide what the Americans are doing. I am, and I don't even like the Iranians, but I am with them just for the So, Choma, your question.
Well, man, first of all, you know you're lying.
No, now.
But anyway,
there was no provocation.
You are with the United States.
You don't have to manipulate people into
Hassan, are you scared? Are you scared because I'm here? I'm about to ask you a question.
The eyes of the devil. Not
hold on,
sweet girl.
Hassan, I know you're scared of me, but okay. Be quiet. Let me ask you a question, okay? I saw you and your people marching and protesting.
I will begin the.
I said, be quiet. I'm talking.
No, don't use that language. Otherwise, you are going to take the
Hassan. Hush.
No,
Hassan, hush.
No, just don't do that.
Listen, I'm not one of your wives. Be quiet.
Don't be rude.
Like I was saying. Hassan, so I saw you and your people protesting in Nigeria, in the north. So after this whole missile bombing in Iran, I realized that the northern people in Nigeria can protest for the killings. Why then do your people don't protest against Boko Haram?
That's a good question.
One man, is there any other thing that...
Hassan, why don't you protest against Boko Haram, Hassan? No, Hassan, you're going to answer the damn question.
Go and learn some manners.
Hassan, why don't you protest against Boko Haram?
Choma is choosing not to engage with that question. I can't say I blame him because it was somewhat aggressive the way you went at it.
Okay, let me be the one that will present that question.
He was already scared when I came in.
No, Choma,
I'm sure he wet his pants.
Choma,
let's not turn it into one of those.
Let's not do that. Now he's refusing to answer you because of what you said, but at least you can answer me. My question is this: there is currently protest in the northern part of Nigeria because of the bombing in Iran. I'm the one asking that question now.
Yes.
Why were we not making that same level of protest, taking on that same level of protest against the killing of people, buying of people in the northeastern and the northwestern part of Nigeria?
Okay. First distinction: those who are doing the protests are Shi'i northerners. Their stronghold is Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano. They are a minority of minorities. If you remember Sheikh Azizaki and his ordeal, Yeah, you remember when they blocked the road? I think it was in Zaria some years ago, and the military actually, just shot them, killed them, and buried them in one grave like that. Something.
Yeah, that was thanks El Rufai. That was an El Rufai.
Yes. El Rufai was governor that time. Yeah. Do you know why I think these guys get a bad rap? Because they are not, they haven't allowed BP, Chevron, Shell, and all those evil people to come and give them 10 cents to $1 for their resources. I am Sunni, but I will tell you now that the Shi'i are more peaceful than the Sunni. That is just the reality. Yes, they protest.
Hold on, Hassan. Take this question, because you are saying they are peaceful. Is why I'm asking. Are they not the ones that part of their rituals is to flog themselves until they bleed? Do they not have that in their? They flog themselves until they bleed.
Yeah. So, Waman, do you know that your ancestors used to bury prominent aristocrats with living people? They kill them and then they bury them together.
No, that's not. You have not answered that question. Don't digress it.
That's what I'm saying. He has not answered the question.
I'll come back.
He's deflecting. Hassan, you're not smart, bro. Be quiet. You're not smart.
Choma, don't do that.
Let's not turn it into a street fight.
No, because Hassan is so annoying. Like, he comes here trying to sound smart, but he's really dumb.
No,
Choma,
say that. Please now. What's all this
now?
Don't
do that.
Every
Please,
time it turns into some street
something.
Let
me finish. One man, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
I get what you're saying, but it's not. They want you to link it to the question. Then,
yes.
Is this self-absolution or abolition or something they call it there?
Self-immolation.
Self-immolation, yes.
Yes, it's just a spiritual practice of some sort. To feel pain as much as you can. Though a lot of the imams, they preach against it, but the thing has already taken a cultural significance of its own. So yeah, it's a ritual. It doesn't have any basis in scripture or anything like that. There's a grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose name is Husseini. And he was the one, on the day they do that, that was the day he was killed in cold blood. And so, of course, in Islam, you cannot kill yourself. Suicide is forbidden. So when that day comes, it's like a day to feel pain, right? So people have different way of feeling pain. If the ideal thing is just to stay at home and mourn. But some people, they take it the extra mile. They begin to self-immolate and all that. So the thing is, just the way Imam Hussein bled on that day, they are also bleeding and mourning when every year when that day comes. You get it? So that's just what that is. And nothing else. So from afar, if you see it and don't understand the significance, you think, okay. And the core of the culture of these Shi'i people is even built around being martyrdom, because they so much revere dying as a martyr than a natural death. So the strategic blunder that the United States made was trying to force the Ayatollahs to surrender. Now, the Ayatollahs will easily give their life 100 times than to surrender.
All right. Let me ask you one more question. Give a brief answer to it, and then we go on to Zita. So let's bring it back home. How does this play for Nigeria? What's going on now? So the price
you have to answer that question that I asked you. You have not answered it.
Can you repeat it, please? Maybe
I've asked you several times. Why is it that they are now protesting in northern Nigeria, whereas when they were buying Nigerians, they were not.
I'm telling you that it is their people. They are Shia. They are not Sunni.
Okay, Sunni.
They are not Sunni. They are Shia.
Why did Sunni protest the killing of buying of people in the north? Let's assume these ones protesting as Shia. Why didn't Sunni protest it?
No. What Hassan is explaining is that hold on.
No, one man. He's trying to confuse us with sushi.
Enough of all this. Please.
Let's tuna and sushi.
Oh God.
Tuna and sushi. That's what he's trying to confuse us with.
All right, thank you. It's going to turn into a street fight now. What Hassan was trying to explain, correct me if I'm wrong. If I rephrase it, then maybe it will resonate. What Hassan is trying to explain is that these people, what's going on is more immediate. Who just dropped? Yeah. So that was yeah. So what Hassan was trying to explain is that what is going on in Iran is more immediate to the Shiites because there's a spiritual lineage, a religious lineage that connects them more profoundly to that. And Nigeria is more of a Sunni country. So that the Boko Haram narrative even is not a Shia narrative, it's a Sunni narrative. So it's not, yes, they're still Nigerians, they're still Muslims, they can still protest, but what the
Boko Harams are Sunni.
Woman.
Predominantly, yes.
So that's why the Sunnis are silent about it.
Woman.
I don't understand where you are coming from. Who is this with the O on his name now? That has been asking me.
No, that's Patoski.
Oh, it's Patoski. Patoski used to be what do they call it? They call these kind of people that knock on your door and say, "Come to Christ." In his previous life,
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, he sounds like them. Very passionate about his already preconceived ideas about other people.
I didn't preconceive anything. Somebody has a question. I wanted you to address it. But
your tone already, and you are making insinuations about us not protesting.
Your style is to dance around question.
I'm not going to explain what I have done myself to you. I don't need to. Because I'm not the North. I am not everybody in the North. It's myself.
All right. I don't think we're going to get anywhere with that one. But Larry, you wanted to call me, but let Larry make a comment and then go to that question.
Hold on, one man. I have a question to you.
Yeah.
Did you think Hassan answered the question, one man?
Well, Hassan gave the response he has to give.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm just here to make sure
things
don't spiral out of control.
I'm good then.
All right. So take Larry's comment and then especially my question, which is the headline piece. How does all of this impact on Nigeria? We know that the price of oil has spiked up, which is good news for revenue, but then it's bad news for at the pumps. But how does this all play out for Nigeria? But let Larry come in for a micro. Okay. Yeah, let Larry just make a little, and then you round it up, and then we go to Zeta.
Okay, so I actually joined because of Hassan. I don't like the fact that Hassan is equating whatever the Iranian government is actually doing to Islam. They do not represent Islam, please. Whatever they are doing does not represent Islam.
Larry,
and there's a lot of misconception. Wait, let me talk. You are a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, right? And you are on this platform. You're spilling things to make it look like things that are done in Iran represent what Islam represents. No. You can talk on your own group.
Well,
wait, because the right you have as a Muslim is the right I have as a Muslim. But you coming on this platform to now equate whatever is being done in Iran to be Islam, it's wrong. That is not what Islam represents. If that it's what your own belief, at your own part of understanding of Islam represents, that does not represent what Islam represents. These are guys that have done a lot of atrocity to their own people, slaughtered their own people. 30,000 people were killed last month. or because they have dissenting view. No, wait, let me talk.
Give us evidence.
Let me talk.
Finish.
A lot of
CIA talking point.
Wait, a lot of people, the Iranians, left the country because of these guys. These are guys that are even against Muslims that do not even believe in their own way of thinking. The same way that a lot of rubbish that has been done in northern Nigeria is being equated to Islam. A lot of things, a lot of atrocities that are being committed is being equated to Islam because a lot of people that do not represent Islam, because the way you portray Islam outside is how they think that is what Islam is all about. Islam does not believe in killing people. We do not kill people. People can have different opinions. But because of people, you mix your own way of thinking.
Where did I portray that Islam is
because
killing
you
people?
said on this, at every point on this platform, you're talking about what those guys are doing. You're talking about Islam. That is not Islam. Don't talk about Islam. Talk about whatever you're talking about. The Shiites, the this, that. Talk about them. That is not Islam. That is not what Islam represents.
Larry, you see, you are doing the same thing you are accusing me of. You must also belong to a sect of some sort. That is the way how these things work. So how can you then be a neutral arbiter in something in which you are already an interested party?
You can belong to whatever group. I do not belong to any group. I am a Muslim. I do not belong to any group. You can belong to whatever group. You can say you are this group.
Larry, are you trying to throw the Shiites under the bus?
So you are not Sunni?
Because you are Sunni. You are Sunni now.
I am not any. That's the problem.
You are a Sunni because Nigerian Muslims, especially the southwestern Muslims, they are Sunni.
More than me, right? You can.
But you are Sunni though.
No.
And there's a sharp attrition between the Sunnis and the Shiites.
Don't cross that line. One man, please don't cross that line. Right? Don't cross that line. I am telling you that I do not belong to any group. Right? So don't make no. Wait, Hassan. Wait.
Okay,
one man,
if you are done with him, I want to ask you.
Don't cross the line. Don't push me to any group. I do not believe in any group. I do not believe in ideologies. The only one book that I believe in is the Quran. If anybody has any ideologies, there are different between ideologies and Islam.
Okay.
So please, that's exactly why I joined.
Okay. Please, can I ask you?
Ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Thank you very much. Larry, but you agree that there is something called Sunni and there is something called Shi'i, right? Don't you? It's subjective. It is an objective fact that these sects exist, don't they?
Does that the sect? You said sect,
just
right?
Answer yes or
does
no.
the sect Does the sect equate to Islam?
I wish you would have answered yes or no, not to answer
you said
my
sect.
The answer is yes, because everybody knows that.
No.
Good.
The sect,
then from there, we'll go to the next
No, it's taking you to a question, so don't hold him to that spot.
That is how you were being brainwashed, right? At the sect, different sect.
Hold on. That's not where the conversation is. Let him take you to where he wants to conversate with you.
I know where it's coming from. And that's
let him go there now so that you're already holding.
Then you defend yourself.
Because he's been on this platform, he's been saying a lot of things, right? And you yourself, you are equating the sect, whatever, anybody can wake up tomorrow and start saying this is how they practice their own. That does not really translate to that religion itself.
Larry, I understand where you're coming from, but do you see the hubris in this?
There are different
people will always from afar generalize.
One second, Hassan. There are different sects in Christianity as well. They still worship this. They still call. You have the Catholics, you have the Anglicans, you have all manners of even Olumba, and what's all this? So many versions of what's that one? These are all strains of a religion, but they come under one overarch.
So do you equate what they do to what the Christianity represents?
Well, they will argue that it is.
I'm not what they argue. I am telling you as a Christian, do you equate what they do to what the Christianity represents?
Yes, but listen, I am a Jehovah's Witness. So whatever my equation is already prejudiced I'm biased because I am doctrinally aligned already. So I'm not a neutral arbiter.
I think the answer is they are human.
Humans
Humans have a tendency to see.
No, well, I was born in Jehovah's Witness anyway.
Every human being can do wrong and has that tendency. But what we must say is the fact that look, for people who don't actually understand the nitty-gritty of what Islam is and its divisions and subdivisions, the jurisprudence, the interpretations and all that, what they know is just Islam from afar. And I, for one, do not see you see in Nigeria, a lot of the Sunnis in Nigeria actually think the Shi'i are just kafir. They are not even Muslims. That is how they think. But I'm not like that.
But Azan,
my own understanding is that
you and Larry have taught me one thing now.
Yes.
You have taught me that there are so many sects. Shia are Sunnis, but there's a new sect. There's a new sect that is emerging.
Subdivisions of sect also.
There are. But you have, two of you have taught me now that there's a new set emerging. And that set is the set that believes that they are Muslims. They are not interested. That is a new set. Larry is one of them. I've met people who say, look, I'm not Sunnis, I'm not Shiite, I'm just...
Yeah, but that's just wokeism now. That's wokeism.
No.
You see, that's the problem.
There are group that tells you...
That's the problem I have
Larry,
with
let me just land it. There's a group that tells you, I'm a Muslim. I believe in Quran. I don't even believe in Hadith or all those stuff. Still,
No.
I just
That's Kumbaya.
I don't think Larry is that one.
But
Larry is
right.
actually Sunni, but his brand of Sunni, I know their
brand of Sunni. All right, let's do it this way. Sorry, Hassan, take 2 minutes to round off, and then we go on to Zeta. Let's
talk about the Strait of Hormuz, right?
Yes.
Good. The Zionists. I need to stop calling these people Zios. I need to get a better nickname for them. The Slavic converts to Judaism.
They are Jews. Leave that one, Slavic. They are Jews. That's their identity. They are Jews.
No. It's been watching Tucker Carlson. You've been watching Tucker Carlson, Abi.
They don't slaughter the red heifer, but I'm gonna get ready. Una go soon go. What do they call that? The way they call una go just they float for air and it don't soon come. So one man, the Strait of Hormuz, the way it will affect Nigeria is the fact that Dangote, it's not getting all his crude oil from Nigeria. In fact, he buys most of it from other countries. Now that strait is closed, that is essentially 20% of global production gone. And scarcity will always create an increase in price. So the value, and then people who would compete to get it will start, of course, to become expensive and difficult to find. Now, manufacture and then transportation to the final product. A country like Nigeria that what does it do? Almost everything we import. So it's going to hit our pockets, and there's going to be some form of hyperinflation. And then things will also be expensive. So a double whammy. But I believe Trump has gone back begging already right now, and to the Iranians, and everybody is trying to calm them down. The Saudis, the Turks. In fact, Trump has reached out to the Chinese that he wants an off-ramp. He wants them to talk. Yeah, what he didn't know is that Khomeini is the one who has stopped and actually passed a religious edict to prohibit Iran as a country to develop a nuclear weapon based on religious moral grounds. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, in Trump's madness, he thought this is the right guy to decapitate. Meanwhile, this guy have been the one who have been keeping the hot-headed ones behind him at bay for decades. And now he just killed him in a cowardly way in his office, working, killed his children, his granddaughter.
Hold on, let him land so we can move it around. It wasn't actually Trump, it was the Israelis, but carry on.
Yeah, but of course with his coordination now. Okay, so now that what has happened, the goal, which they say is regime change, we know it's not regime change. The goal is to destabilize, fragment, and create a Syria or a Libya of some sorts in Iran, and then whatever happens. That's the modus operandi of the United States anyway, especially as regards to their interventions in Islamic countries, because the US is always a malevolent entity to weak people, to weak countries. So if you don't have anything that they know you can hurt them with, they will always cheat you. These are thieving, cheating, people who you cannot trust. They don't have any honor, and yet they claim that they are civilized. But to each his own. I think they'll be forced to reach a deal of some sort. You see, that regime change, it won't happen. And I'm sorry, from now on, don't be surprised. Iran is going to get that nuclear weapon. Nothing is going to stop them from getting that nuclear weapon from now on. And Trump has ensured that will happen by blundering. Okay, let me keep quiet like that.
All right, brilliant. Thank you. Excellently put, Hassan. But the last statement you made is one that I can agree with. These things, I don't think it will escalate because the Americans thought it would just be a smash and grab. They would just overwhelm them quickly. But they're now seeing that these people, they are potent and they can be very fun. There's people that self-harm, so they are very fanatic. Yeah. So I don't think he wants an extended, drawn-out something. I think he's going to try and cap it off very quickly. But if this ends, then they've lost the lever to leverage these people anymore. Yeah.
Do you think America is a joke to you? Like, do you know you're talking about United freaking States of America? How dare you? Do you know what they did to Osama bin Laden? You're here. Why are you having like selective amnesia? Do you know what we can do to people? America? No, you guys are just weird.
All right.
America is the weapon of mass destruction. Who are you? How dare you utter that? I'm offended. This is America, bro. Don't do that. Right. Don't play us like that.
All right. Give us a few USA chants and then we move on. USA.
One man, you don't believe. One man.
All right. All right. Zita, you're up next. But Hassan, 50-50. I agree 50% with what you're saying. But the religious bent that you tried to hide under, of course, I can align with that. But Zita, floor is yours.
Before
each his own one man.
Before I start, Shoma, I must actually commend you for the question you asked earlier before I step aside. That was a very smart one. Although you did not get a good answer, but that's still okay. Woman, your caption. America cannot be
Zita, you can ask me. I have nothing against you. If it's polite, I will ask.
Please, can I speak?
No, I'm
I
just telling
beg you in the name of whatever you watch it.
No, now
Can you keep quiet? Can I
I will
speak?
not take any disrespect, not from
all right.
you, not from any bagger.
All right, Hassan. Let's
Hassan,
keep
we're
it.
not
Why
one
did
of
you
your wives,
no.
bro.
Hey, guy.
Hassan, we are not one of your wives.
Enough of this nonsense. What's all this now?
Look,
we're not doing
are you
shouting
mad
here
or
now.
something?
Why are you so determined to turn it into a chaos? Don't turn it into a chaos now. There are people listening. They want to hear it now. Even if they disagree with Hassan, they value his comments. They disagree with Zita, they value her comments. Zita, floor is yours.
Okay. Number one man, your caption is actually funny. America cannot be at war with Iran anyway. If you say America is at war with Iran because of a strike, then you can affirmatively believe that Obama fought war throughout his 8 years. That being said, let me go back to the topic. I actually do love what is happening now. And as you can see, all Americans are kneeling down, begging Iran to stop. You know, they're begging them. They're kneeling down, crying and begging them to stop bombing them. But I am very happy at what happened. That morning, that thing happened. I brought it to this platform because we were on your stream when it happened. I wanted to say they don't buy the man. They shut me up. And they said they know. They just, I kept quiet.
But Zita, what we're hearing is they've also pied the guy that replaced him as well.
Yes, there are 45 of them. Because
yes.
Actually, from the information that's supposed to start that thing on Saturday night. Is it Saturday night or this Sunday night or thereabout? But when they got the information that all of them are gathered to have a meeting, they saw it as a window to strike them. Now, that being said, the way the guy, just as they usually say, the way the guy has been threatening. But one man, before I say this thing, I want to say something. I'm a Nigerian by birth. And if there be any country in the world that put Nigerian flag all over their cities with blood dripping on them, and put pictures of Nigerian soldiers with blood dripping on them and bowing to their own flag, that country actually is going to be my arch enemy. And if I have the wherewithal, I will liberate them. Because that is extreme hatred. That thing is not supposed to happen. But it's happening. And most people, because according to you guys said that America is a country of immigrants and for immigrants and immigrants, and we are actually discussing this. We shouldn't be discussing it. America would have done this long time ago without wasting time. But if I have opportunity, I will tell you the story of a tortoise. You see this thing Iran is doing now, tortoise and the hunter. You see this thing Iran is doing now. One man, you can imagine if they have nuclear. If they can be reckless in attacking, I heard your prime minister said US can use their bases now to hammer all their ammo, their stockpile. You see the recklessness of somebody or some group of people. You want us to sit down in your platform to discuss about how they live and how they're going to survive. See the recklessness? They're throwing bomb at the people that said they shouldn't even be touched. And throwing bomb at the people who do not even know anything about what they're doing. Bombing hotels, bombing private homes and everything. And these are the people we sit down here to talk about. But that's okay. Let's go back to the topic of the day. I celebrated that man was spied. You see, one thing is, before I say this, I look at my country, Nigeria, and I say, thank God the way Tinubu handled the United States. Otherwise, probably Nigeria would have gotten their own woto. And the way the media Somebody said last time that they're doing a great job. The way the media is projecting America is making most countries fall prey to them. America is begging for Iran to stop bombing. Really? Okay, no problem. We see how that ends. And one man, the president of the United States, announced that he died because that supreme leader is technically the president of Iran. Hello, can you hear me, woman?
We all can carry on.
Because these people are doing training here, so the thing affects our network from time to time. What do they call them? NATO, they're doing training here in Norway. So the president of America announced, a whole president of America announced that he died a president, because that's your so-called supreme, whatever you people call him, I don't really do care. Is technically the president of Iran. And then people were waiting for confirmation. That's how far the media has polarized the world. They're waiting for confirmation from Iran or from any other place. And then forget that these people own the space. America owns the space. They see what they want to see. They kill what they want to kill. Hate them, like them, I don't care. They own it for now. Maybe in future, another person will take over. One man, we are discussing about a man who killed almost 30,000 demonstrators in his country without shame or reproach. He didn't care. This is a man who threatened fire and brimstone on America if they dare bomb his country. And they took him out even before the action started. Well, they're doing themselves woto now. So let's see how it will end. But I can assure you it's not ending in 3 or 4 days. No. If care is not taken, that country called Iran will look like Gaza. In a few days' time, trust me. That is the aim. It will look like that. But if anybody wants to fund them and say they have all it takes, that is fine. They want it to turn to a regional war. They want the all Arab countries to bomb them so that they will maybe, I don't know what Russia that is weak already promised them, or maybe what China promised them. But one thing they should realize that United States, one man, when I hear people say Americans don't want to go to war, it's actually laughable. Because it's either they're ignorant or they're not well informed. Because that is what their country is known for. They are the only country their national actors talk about war, bomb, and how their flag stood flying after they finish what they were doing. They make arms and ammunition. And their own is not like China. It's not for show. They don't keep it as showroom and label the specs. No. They make their own to test it. So for Americans hearing my voice today, if you're an American and you feel and you believe your country should not be going to war and you don't want your country to go to war, I will advise you to change your citizenship to countries like Nigeria or elsewhere that don't usually go to war. Because that's what America is known for. And that's what they do. That's what they feed on.
3 more minutes, Zita, and then we'll move it around. 3 more minutes.
They're so powerful about it. So I don't understand this one that America is begging Iran to stop bombing. Meanwhile, Israel has already taken over their airspace as we are speaking now. If you are watching it live, you will see that Israel has taken over their airspace as usual. So if Chioma them, I can see you are kneeling there begging Iran to stop fighting. Because it's coming to finish you people. I wish you people luck. But one man, I am so excited at this. Remember I told you in June that this is coming and you told me yes, that it's going to come. I am so excited that it's happening. It's now or never. And they shouldn't stop until they finish each other. I rest my case.
Let me agree with you. And I need you there because we've still not spoken on the impact on Nigeria, but let everybody speak. We open that space. But I agree with you that it's now or never. If it stops now, the window doesn't open anymore for them to do it a third time. Because then they would have run out of even the veneer of any reasonable reason to. So it's either they completely decimate that country and destroy it entirely like they did Iraq, or they back down forever.
Yes.
You know, and the window for them to do it is just under this Trump administration.
Yes.
It's only Trump that will do it.
Yes.
So as soon as Trump leaves, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And if they leave Iran intact, after Trump, those guys are going to really, they would dedicate their lives to wiping out your brothers. But
one man is going to be Dambro Bachege.
Yes.
Watch by Tuesday. I promise you, it's going to be what they call Dambro Bachege.
What did they target? No? What did they target? They called it epic something, epic fire,
epic fury. Yeah, one man. Let me ask you something, right? You see, there is this thing about a lot of people preach, they say things, but they don't act it out. They say you don't know somebody until that person gets mad, or that person gets power, or that person gets money. That is how you begin to see the core of what that person actually believes in. So here's a test experiment, right? A lot of people are saying that the goal in Iran is regime change. That's what the U.S. Department of State has said explicitly, and that's what Trump has insinuated. However, what is emerging from what we know of the Americans in the past is this is no damn regime change. This is fragmentation, destabilization, creation of a form of civil war, destroy, harm the country and all that. So I just want to ask you, as a human being, where do you draw the line between the innocent and the leadership?
I'll be drawing that line only if I concede to your preamble, which I don't concede to.
I don't agree with collective punishment.
No, I don't agree with collective punishment either. But hold on, I don't agree with the premise that the object of the exercise is just to destroy and decimate that country for no other reason, maybe because they hate their religion or anything like that. I don't agree with that. What I think is that hold on. What I think is that the only real potency that could challenge Israel in the Middle East is Iran, because Iran are calibrating militarily. They already have a weapon system. They are the biggest manufacturers of weaponized drones now. Even some of the drones that the Americans are launching at Iran, they are Iranian drones recalibrated by the Americans. So it's a heavily, highly weaponized state. And an Israel system continues to expand. Hold on. So that's what
one man finish your
How can you say recalibrated? America is using Iranian recalibrated.
Yes, it's been reported everywhere. So it's not even me saying it. I've been tracking they have been gouging excessively on all of these things. They are repurposing Iranian drones and then launching it at them. In terms of military drones, attack drones, Iran are the #1 manufacturers of it. They supply everybody. So the fear, the one person that could challenge Israel militarily would be Iran, and Iran continues to evolve and expand militarily, and now they are enriching to get that nuclear capability. The moment they get nuclear capability, Israel is doomed. And that is really what on that. That's my. In fact, that's what all the facts tell us. It's nothing to do with Muslims or whatever it is. Yeah,
I hear you. My problem with that is that you usually base your assessment of an individual based on his history. I mean, even God, you know, if you or let some of you people are even atheists. So even you go to a judge and it's your first time offending, there's more likelihood that you get a mild you know, just something, they just hit you on the wrist and let you go because it's your first time, right? But if you are a consistent multiple times offender, a pedophile, an armed robber, you've killed several times, you've gone to jail and back and gone to jail and back, and you then find yourself in front of another judge. That history is going to mean something for or against you, right? Let's look at the history of Iran and the United States. Oh, no, let's see, since the United States is just, and Israel. Who has done more evil? Invading other countries, killing children, in raw numbers, terrorism, state-sponsored, everything. Let's try to be morally consistent.
Oh, all right, we must move it right. But there's a particular phrase that says might is
One man.
right. So
One man.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, let me answer some questions.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm just conscious of the people that have not yet spoken, but I'll make that point and then we'll move it right.
Considering the innocent, I will reply with the famous quote of our former president, president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari. He said, anybody who is living with Boko Haram is a Boko Haram. Thank you, one man.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man with a cataract is the king. That's just it. People just come here and just say all sorts of nonsense that they don't even understand. One man, you have refused to answer the question.
Which is what? Which is what?
To be fair, and look at the history of countries while judging them, not just to listen at propaganda. Now, if I ask you, a lot of people here have said about Iran killing 30,000 people. I will give I'll give $300 now if any of you can produce a verifiable evidence of that 30,000 people that Iran murdered. $300. What is $300 in Naira? 140. Around 430,000 Naira. I can stake it now. Anybody that takes that challenge should take it.
All right. All right.
Put your money where your mouth is.
All right. I don't know what verifiable evidence actually means, but let's move it around.
It's propaganda. It's a lie. So,
but on what authority are you saying that? You are not saying it with any authority. You are saying it from a position of bias.
Of course, I have given you my conditions. If you want to counter it, put on $450. Let's get somebody who can transfer the money to. Let that person be the intermediary.
Ajale Koko is no longer here. Ajale Koko used to be our, but all right, Hassan. Let's do 5 minutes, and then everybody, and then we open it up.
I'm done. No.
Yeah, but stay with us for as long as you can. I know it's early hours and you probably need sleep, but we kick it off with Patoski to Larry to Echo. So we be a bit rigid with the 5 minutes, just so everybody can come in, and then we open it up. Patoski, floor is yours.
Yeah, can you hear me? One more.
Yeah, perfectly. Carry on.
Now it looks like I can only hear you. I can't hear other people. So when they are talking, I might not hear them. Yeah, let's just take the religion out of this thing. Let's look at morality. Let's look at the rightness and the wrongness of it. When I saw the videos from Iran, one fact that comes to me is that they try to also demonize the regime, but it looks like the regime have a sizable number of people who still support them, who wants them. And that is the truth. And if you have a larger number of people, I'm not saying they are the majority, but if those people are the majority, then why would you have to force a system on them or want to take them out, want to take their leaders out? If the majority of the people say this is what we want, you understand? Because I saw few people rejoicing, and I saw a large number of people mourning and because of the man that was taken out. So I think America needs to look at that. You understand how popular with the Iranian or among the Iranian is their decision. Is their decision popular with the Iranian? Is it what they want? Or is it just that you are pursuing a particular interest? I know they have interest they are pursuing, but we need to really address that. Now, but from few people that I've had the opportunity to meet here in the West, it looks like the Iranians are really not happy with the way the country is being run by these people. And these people that I say I take religion out of it, but the ones that I met, they are Muslims. They are not. I met a Christian, but I mean the Muslim also. They don't seem to support the regime the way it's being run. They just feel that Iran has a lot of resources and they have a lot of potentials, and they feel that somebody else could do a better job, or that place is probably would have been better if they don't have all those restraint that is being put there by this religious structure that the country already has, that the country currently have. So they feel that that should be taken out of the way. And before now, you could remember that there have been protests, people being harassed by moral police, and especially among women, just like we have Isba police in Kano and the rest. And there was a time they were protesting and people were kissing on the street and stuff like that, just because they just felt that no, they want their life. They don't want the government telling them what to do, how they should dress, and how. So there are numbers of people like that. They want a more liberal society, especially among young people. So that is another way I want to look at this. So it's neither here nor there. But if you look at the geopolitics of that region, you discover that the neighbors of Iran, take Israel out for example, don't even without Israel, the other neighbors of Iran, they don't want an Iran that has the nuclear capabilities. Saudi Arabia does not want that. Definitely Iraq does not. Qatar, UAE, I'm sure Oman, all those countries, they don't, because they have seen what Iran has done in that region. How Iran is sponsoring Hezbollah, how Israel has been sponsoring the Houthis in Yemen, how Iran's been sponsoring terrorism in other places. And so they don't want it. They don't want it. And that's why you discover that their bases are available to America. And then the way Iran is bombing now, those guys, they might have retaliatory attack from countries like Saudi Arabia. And I don't know what UAE intends to do, but you could see what Iran is doing to UAE. And you see, all those countries might eventually be drawn into this fight. You understand? So they don't want Iran. They are not comfortable with Iran. That's apart from Israel now. They are not comfortable with Iran. And then Israel is also not comfortable with Iran. And it's just that Israel is the one that is strong enough to be able to leverage on his relationship with America and everything, our relationship with America, to be able to confront Iran. Those other countries, Qatar, for example, cannot confront Iran on their own and stuff like that. So that's why it looks like it's just an Israeli fight. But to me, it looks like, yeah, it's principally an Israeli fight. But Israeli is the warhead now for countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE and the rest. So that's another angle to looking at it. But the point is this: America has sent a message to the rest of the world, and Trump has succeeded in communicating himself. He said he's trying to build a stronger and richer America. Now the world have seen that America is very strong. America is going to be more respected among the nations now. We might not like it, but he has been able to do that. Look at what he did to Venezuela. Look at people think Russia and China is going to do anything. China and Russia aren't going to do nothing. They are not even close to America in strength. Too. All those
3 more minutes, Patoski. 3 more minutes.
They say Russia is this one. Obviously, now anybody that is thinking that Russia will back them, Russia will support them, you can see now nothing is going to happen. If, for example, you're an African country, you are making noise, we have Russia, nothing is going to happen. It's just like America does not have your time. Russia is not going to do anything. China is not going to do anything. You are just going to be on your own. In the next few days, you will see that.
Actually, Patoski, even the Russians don't have the window because they are militarily depleted with this 4-year war with the Ukraine. So I don't think they either have the money. It's only China that can really, but they don't care. They're just here to do business.
China will just like, they are not, they don't have interest in that kind of thing. And look at what America has done with Iran first. In the other 12-day war, they destroyed some capacity, military capacity. The rate at which Iran can recover and produce missiles now is longer than when they had capacity. And they destroyed the capacity in terms of human resources. There are nuclear scientists, I'm sure beyond nuclear scientists, some other human beings that are relevant to their weapon, to their ordnance production and everything had been taken out. So all those things, they use that 12-day, and then now they are coming.
Are we not misrepresenting facts here?
Hold on, Chairman, you have been, let me just finish. So to me now,
no, some things did not happen now. You're saying
Iran is weaker. Iran is weaker going into this war than they were before that 12-day war. Because, they've been depleted. And from what we have seen, that their leadership, in terms of human capital, their leadership has been, in the last, between yesterday or 2 days ago and now, they've been depleted seriously. And that's a very huge part of their strategic operations. You take out that number of leaders, the new guys are coming in, trying to settle and trying to now re-strategize. Now you have given some window for Israel and America and UAE and Saudi Arabia and the rest to just go in and try to finish up. That's what's going to happen. But I'm just worried at that place because regime change is not going to be as easy as that. I don't know, maybe they have a magic one they want to use. But that's going to leave that place depleted and it's just going to look like another Libya. Except the Arab
I agree with you. I agree with you on the regime change thing. Not something that can easily happen.
It cannot even happen like that
because they have an inbuilt succession system anyway.
Very sophisticated one,
which still falls under the same ideology. So it's not a matter of taking. It's not like buying Saddam Hussein and then Iraq
everything collapsed. Yeah.
No. This country is run by a committee. It's run by a committee.
There's a structure, a system, a bureaucracy.
One of the things I don't know. One of the things they can do, and I won't be surprised you're already doing that, is to hit that system and empower the minorities or different groups in that country.
I think the best thing is to bring Iran back into the Committee of Nations.
No, I'm just thinking of that's the best thing. But
don't over-sanction them. They're human beings. If you look at Iran of the 70s, it's not like Iran of now. Like it is the sheer what do I call pressure.
Hassan, I agree with you. You just made one very brilliant point.
The Iran of the early 70s is run by Pahlavi now.
Yeah, human beings, for God's sake.
All right. Let Patoski land. Let me just and then you come up with you come after Emeko.
Let me just close with this. So I'm seeing that if American cannot succeed in ensuring regime change by getting replacement for these people that are there, they might end up, because they do that in other countries, they might end up arming some groups, minorities and other groups, and then there will be, those ones will be the one doing the war and then powers of maybe in another few years, if care is not taken, I have a fragmented Iran.
All right, brilliant. I agree with that. Echo, you're up next. 5 minutes.
Yeah. Regarding the situation that
Oh
happened.
man, am I not supposed to be the next person?
Sorry. Did I say you? Okay, Echo. Let Larry go first, and then you come after him. Sorry about that.
Okay, yeah, thank you, woman. And let me try and clarify some things. At least I have my time to clarify things now. You see, the problem I have is this. A lot of people do not really understand Islam. And that's particularly people that are non-Muslims. And a lot of people have been eating under Islam. I've seen a lot of people talk about, Sanas talk about the sects and different sects, right? Those sects do not represent Islam. Just like Christianity, we have Christianity, there are different sects within Christianity. Whatever they do does not represent what that religion is all about. Today, if you talk about Boko Haram today, is a sect. Does what they do as Boko Haram, does it represent Islam? No, it does not represent Islam. And these guys in Iran, fine, they said they are Muslim. Yes, I'm not saying they are not Muslims. But what they do, does it represent Islam? No. Are they more Muslims than every other neighbors they have? The fact that they are Muslim, are they better than Saudi Arabia? Are they better than UAE? Are they better than Qatar? Are they better than Oman? Why is everybody against them? And that's exactly what the problem is. They've been able to hide under that religion and perpetrate a lot of evil. Today, if you are in the midst of a lot of people, if you hear Allah Akbar today, everybody will run. Because of people like this. This is a country where people in that country, a lot of people in that country left that country, they ran away. If you go to in US today, there are a lot of people that I know in US that are from Iran. But when you ask them, they will tell you they don't want to go home. Because what these guys do, in as much as they know that you are against them, they go after you, they finish you. That's all of them are running out of that place. And Patoski was saying something, they have people that are sympathetic with them and this and that. If today, Boko Haram today in Nigeria, there are people that are sympathetic to whatever Boko Haram is doing. If they kill a leader of Boko Haram today, you still see people that will still mourn. That's a normal thing anywhere. Even the devil today, if the devil today, there are people that are legends, that have allegiance to the devil. So, if you have neighbors, number one thing you ask yourself is, why is it that all their neighbors, all their brothers are afraid of them? Why is it that all their brothers do not want to associate with them? Because they know how deadly they are. And they hide on, they said, they are Islamic Republic. Islamic Republic of what? Look at every other spaces where they have their people. What exactly are those people doing? What exactly are they really doing? So for me, a lot of people that do not really know my religion, that do not really understand my religion, that probably because of one or two things that you hear, makes you equate whatsoever bad thing that these guys are doing, you equate it to Islam, then you are wrong. And that's my own thing. That's not Islam. These are guys that they indoctrinate people to extent, to a point that somebody will now think of, I'm fighting for my religion, I can do suicide bombing, or because I'm fighting for my religion. And that's not it. That's how they brainwash a lot of people. A lot of people are allegiance to them. A lot of people every day, they believe that they are doing the right thing because of brainwashing. So I don't have a problem. Whatever I make for me, right? Do I want them to kill the Ayatollah? Those guys? No, I don't want them to kill them. But I want them to demystify everything they have that is making their brothers within that region afraid of them. Let people go in. If they say today, even people that are saying Iran, if you say today, give them visa of Iran, give them visa of any Western country, they would rather go to that place than Iran. But they always say, if you go to northern Nigeria, I've seen a lot of them, and somebody has a very cogent question on this platform today. Those people, even all those people that are not Shiites, people that are Shia, people that are everywhere, that are pro-Iran, pro-everywhere, why are they not speaking about the rubbish that is happening in Nigeria? Why are they still seeing those guys as their brothers? In the north today, every Friday, they still go to Juma with all those bad guys. And everybody will hide under, because people do not really understand the religion. These are people that will hide under the religion and perpetrate every evil. Everybody within the Middle East is happy. Why are they happy? Now, okay,
Larry,
you said.
Larry, sorry for interrupting you. I
want to finish my time.
I'm just going to give you the chance to just enlighten me a little bit before you pass this juncture, please. Okay. Regarding every Friday in Nigeria, people go to mosque with bad guys. Is it Boko Haram you're talking about, or Shia?
Boivu Boko Haram. Are you telling me that the people in the north do not even know where they reside? Are you telling me that they don't know them?
Not in my town, no. Not where I am.
Yes, a lot of these guys, even there was a video that I saw, right? That they were doing wedding. They were doing, as in, a lot of people, if you say in your town, fine, I don't know your town. But there are a lot of people in the north that know those guys. A lot of people in the north know where they are. They even come every Friday. Wait, let me talk. They come every Friday during Juma. They know them. And these are people that perpetrate a lot of evil.
That is not disputed.
And because they see them as brothers. And the problem is, for me personally, I don't see everybody, because everybody hide under Islam. And you see them. Wait, let me talk. If you are perpetrating evil, I won't say because you are a Muslim and I'll see you as a brother. No. You are not part of me. You are not part of me. Today, like I said, any slight place, if you're in a public gathering, just say Allahu Akbar, everybody will pick race. Because this is something that these people have been using to perpetrate evil.
3 more minutes, Larry. 3 more minutes.
Larry, the other day you were scolding me about being proud and standing on my beliefs and everything.
Yeah.
You sound very, very apologetic that people say Allahu Akbar, or people are perceived to be Muslims, and therefore some people
don't understand what I'm saying.
And you are kind of trying
to
get
what I'm saying.
Apologize or something like that. They are evil in every demographic.
Let me get what I'm saying, because these people have used that word to perpetrate a lot of evil. If you are in a public gathering, if people hear Allahu Akbar, the first thing they want to do is to run. Because these people, as the people that have done suicide bombing, that's what they do. That's what they use. And people that are not Muslims, once they hear Allahu Akbar in a public gathering, the first thing that comes into their head is to run.
I think we are victims of propaganda.
Which propaganda? Have you not seen several instances that this Boko Haram guys shout Allahu Akbar and perpetrate evil?
Before Boko Haram shouts Allahu Akbar once, righteous Muslims would have shouted Allahu Akbar 1,000 times.
See, people don't just shout Allahu Akbar everywhere, right? These guys have used the same Allahu Akbar to cause a lot of havoc everywhere.
Okay, I hear you.
Woman,
But
I'm all right. I'm good.
don't
You can go
apologize.
to another
Thank
person.
you.
Yeah, before the next person said, I agree with Hassan that no, that yeah, this bad Muslims or whatever you want to call them, they've hijacked, a certain part of Islam. Allahu Akbar is probably an Arabic word that means something, pertaining to the religion. But in the internationally or in the global sphere, people, and Larry, you're right. Where if I hear Allahu Akbar, I will pick race because I associate that word with some kind of explosion or terrorism, and that's what happens when institutions are hijacked or when people associate certain words to certain actions, and that's what the reality that we live. It's not because the word itself is bad or the Muslims, the good Muslims don't use that word. That's just the way that's the world that we live in. Yeah, so truly, Boko Haram, they are the people with weapons and they are ready to perpetrate evil in an instant. They're not afraid. So they can go into any community and associate with good Muslim or good people, and those people can drive them out because they are the ones with weapons. So I wouldn't blame those communities that they rampage and the people they cry because they don't have any recourse. It's not like the government is behind them to protect them. I mean, we see what happened in Nigeria. They go to the villages after 4 or 5 hours before the military shows up or the police shows up. They themselves are victims of these people. I understand that part. So hijacking. So what Larry is saying goes in. I guess it applies to the Christian religion also. The Christian religion has been hijacked in so many ways and being used to perpetrate evil. The Catholic Church, for example, they did a lot of evil. The Catholic Church was hijacked, and we saw what they did to young boys and all the molestation that occurred in the name of Christianity or the Catholic religion. So the hijack of institutions is nothing new. It is up to people, the citizens, to be well informed. And a lot of us are ignorant. Who do you blame? It's just the reality. Many of us are ignorant about a lot of things. Not everybody knows about Islam. We know about Islam about what CNN says or the West says about it. But those of us that associate with people with the faith or the people that have death in our family, we know that they're just normal, ordinary human beings, just like the rest of us.
All right. Bring it home, Larry, and then we'll go on to AKO. Larry, anyone there?
No, woman, I'm done.
Prince Daddy, thank you for that. Thank you for putting things in perspective. Thank you.
All right. Is it AKO or AKO? How do you want us to pronounce it?
It's the male AI. It's just I just put my.
I know you changed it just so you don't clash with the AI. All right, floor is yours. The topic needs no introduction. What's your take?
I heard what everybody said. Everybody made interesting submissions, but I like to be more fair, pragmatic in this discussion. There is no good and evil. There is no good and bad. There's just interest, right? When we talk about that Middle East region, right? The truth is that Iran acts as a counterbalance to Israeli influence in that region, whether you like it or not. If Israel is left to its own devices, they would have probably conquered the whole Middle East. Even if, you feel some people like they support Israel and whatnot. I would say that what people fail to understand is that there is a history to this. Iran didn't just, what's happening in Iran is not out of a vacuum. They started from, the early ages of the Shah, even before the Shah, the prime minister that was overthrown by CIA and MI6, and they installed their own puppets. And then through that, the White Revolution happened by the Shah, and then that led to the Khomeini, who was a very big critic and got exiled. And who was exiled, he started off in Turkey, moved to Iraq, then he moved to France. And it was in France where he became very well renowned. And that's what he prompted the revolution. And that's what allowed him to come back to establish the theocracy that Iran is today. I'm not in any way supporting the current regime of Iran. It's a very repressive regime. people have died, people are suffering. There's a lot of corruption in Iran. But the truth is, at the end of the day, all what is going on in that Middle East is manufactured by the West, And I find it so ironic because when Trump came into presidency, the first thing he said was that he wants Middle East has come of the age to govern their own affairs, their own relations. However, on the contrary, you see here he's come to plot the assassination of the Khomeini, which for me doesn't make sense. I know people say, oh, if they have access to nuclear weapons, they're going to obliterate the whole region. But I fail to disagree with that. I disagree with that notion because at the end of the day, the idea of having nuclear weapons is acts as a deterrent against any hostilities that may come. And that hostility is primarily from Israel. Now, Saudi Arabia has never liked Iran, because Saudi Arabia wants to be the major regional power, and by using Israel as its proxy to fight Iran, Saudi Arabia fails to realize that if Iran is, destabilized, that would lead to Israeli domination in the whole region, and all the Gulf countries will not be saved from that. They will not be saved from that. That's the truth. And that's why you see Saudi Arabia probably turns its eye when it comes relating to Gaza, because at the end of the day, they feel their major threat is Iran. In terms of the attacks that happened, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, I don't think that is a shocker. All is fair in war. There's no morality. U.S. is not moral. The Iran is not moral. Like I said, there is no good or bad. It's just real politics, And at the end of the day, I don't see why, Iran is being made out to be I think also something I should highlight is, and I think I'm happy that Hassan said that, if there really wants to be a regime change, the first thing US should have done is to remove those sanctions completely. That is the big solution. Sanctions do not work. Sanctions just entrench any repressive regime, and it just stifles and it makes things worse. Sanctions, you've seen, wherever the US has enacted sanctions, we've never seen anything good come out of it. And you have a situation where Iran is in a very difficult position now, because on one end you have a repressive regime that has turned into theocracy and that is affecting the average Iranian in Iran. But at the same time, you don't want a situation whereby you install somebody like the Shah's son as the next president or the next ruler of Iran, and he ends up being a puppet. So it's either you're left with the choice of either you have no government, which is terrible, which is going to destabilize the whole region, or you have a government in place. And that's why I believe I agree with Hassan's submission that the first thing that should have been done is to remove the sanctions. And through that sanctions, what you can start to do is that you start to open the eyes of Iranians and see that what they need to understand what prosperity looks like. And it's through that then they could then have their own form of protest and form of opposition against the government. Even when you look at how the Shah got disposed, it was via the Khomeini when he was in France. So that should be the same method that should be used to basically get rid of the theocracy that the Supreme Council that currently rules Iran.
Aku, thank you for coming. Thank you very, very much.
This idea of the US and
let me give you one context that you missed around your point around Iran attacking UAE, Qatar, and all of these places, right? Before everything began, all these countries were hosting United States military. They've had military bases and all that in America, American military bases and all that. Now, the Iranians said the hotels that they targeted and all the places they targeted were places where US, NATO, and Israeli personnel were documented, traced, and tracked to.
No. I agree. No, I agree with that point. Like the places that they targeted were primarily the U.S. bases, and they even said that a year in advance that if anything was to escalate, they're going to attack these bases. That's what they focused on. You notice they didn't. You notice they didn't.
They
attack
always get a
Oman.
bad rap.
You notice that they didn't. Wait, hold on, Hassan. You notice that they did not attack Oman, and that was a very specific reason. The reason why they didn't attack Oman was because the Omani foreign minister was mediating between Iran and US to see how he can de-escalate. And Iran actually made some commitments. Actually,
they conceded.
So this idea that you're making Iran, I'm not a supporter of Iran, the repressive, but you can see that they were making steps to be conciliatory, and it's just I'm sorry to say this, but the prime problem in the Middle East is Israel, whether you like it or not.
That's the blunt truth, you know.
It's the blunt truth.
Hassan, hold on for him. Yeah.
Every Netanyahu, every region that the US has destabilized.
Please, they attacked Oman. Check it.
What?
They attacked Oman. It's something I'm monitoring.
They didn't attack Oman.
They attacked Oman.
Wait, hold on. I want to report, but
they attacked Oman.
No. I know what's going on in Oman very well. So, what happened was it was off the coast of Oman, and it was an oil tanker. They did not attack Oman. Let's get that factual. Let's get that straight. They didn't attack Oman, like I said, because the Omani, few hours before that attack, the Omani foreign minister had an interview with the MSNBC. You can fact check me, and he was discussing about the progress. He was actually in Geneva, actually, and the reason why I know is because I know the Omani foreign minister personally. So that's why I know about this. And he told me in confidence that Iran has considered, and they were about to actually make an agreement. And the reason why they didn't make the agreement is because the Israelis subverted that agreement. So the problem here is not Iran. The problem is the Israelis. If you look at Libya, the Israelis they're not happy with the Libyans. The Israelis actually are one of the major architects of the reason why NATO went into Libya to kill Gaddafi. So if you look at all the major regions that US has stabilized, even Saddam Hussein himself, is the Israelis that are responsible for that. So whether you like it or not, it's the Israelis that are major.
They struck Dogun port. I don't know why you are saying this. Can you please check?
It's off the coast of Oman.
Dogun port.
Off the coast of
It's
Oman.
not off the coast.
Bros.
It's their port.
Bros, can you just do a simple Google search? This thing is not something that is hidden now. They struck Oman now.
I don't know what he's in personal. He knows in personal. What kind of talk is this?
It may not, because what Echo is actually saying,
and the coast are just neighbors now.
It's not. I'm telling you, this is factual information. It's not on the port. It was off the coast of Oman. Get your facts right. That is not Duke. It was off the coast.
People
what are you saying? What are you saying?
I've not seen anything to the contrary.
Of the coast of Oman, it's not.
Yeah, and it could also be collateral something. But
I want to
as you're bringing it to Echo, try and incorporate Nigeria into it as well, because we factor both in the oil element, and then we also have a sizable complement of Shiites that live in our country who are already on the streets now asking Tinubu what's going to do about it. So try and wrap us in at some point. Carry on.
There's something I want to dispel as well, this attack on Oman, right? When it comes to this ideas of drones and whatnot, what people fail to realize is that when it comes to drones, right? Drones have a specific direction, location they're going to be. But when you have missile interception systems, right? When those missile interception systems, sometimes they don't destabilize the drone completely, right? Sometimes they may take off a chunk of the drone, and that changes the direction in which the drone is going. That's why you see that in Abu Dhabi and Dubai,
they attacked their port, and an Omani was injured. This is something I'm following bomber to bomber.
hold on for him, Zita. I don't think he agrees with you, and I think he has.
I don't agree with that.
He has
If they didn't
a more
attack the
detailed
port.
knowledge.
From what he's saying, I don't think he has. Thank you.
Let him be.
No,
Let him
no, I do have the knowledge. Yes, I understand what you're saying about Duqm Port, which is on the eastern coast of Oman, right? The Omani state media reported it. I know that, but I'm telling you, factually, that it was not. That is not. That was not an Iranian sanctioned. What's it called? It wasn't an Iranian sanctioned attack. That's what I'm telling you. And this
just continue. Continue. We understand. Just continue.
I have the information, so I'm not even bullshitting. I have personal information.
You don't have to explain yourself.
I wouldn't be talking about if I didn't have the information. I'm not that type of person, Madam AI. But anyways, back to my point. Those locations that you see in Dubai and Abu Dhabi that were attacked, or that is not on purpose. The purpose of the drones was to attack the military bases. It just so happens to be that those military missile interception systems were not able to fully destabilize most of the drones, and that's what that led to the attack on the Jumeirah Hotel in Dubai, the Burj Al Arab, and other locations in Abu Dhabi. That's what happened. And to be fair with you, to be honest with you, I'm not even pissed off at what the Iranians did, because the Iranians sent a very clear message. You cannot be housing U.S. military bases and then through that allowing the U.S. to attack my country. If I was, I wouldn't allow that. I don't see, so they've sent a strong message there, and what they've done is that they've actually done an economic assault now, because now what they've sent, the clear message is to let people know that, look, we can attack any economy within the GCC region, and if there is no caretaking, this can escalate further. So I'm not against what they did, to be honest with you. I'm not against, like I said, there is no good or bad. They're just interests at the end of the day. In terms of Mr. Woma, before I submit my time, in terms of Nigeria, I'm not really conversant with the Shia. I know, they're Shia to Nigeria, and but I'm not really, to be honest, I'm not really conversant with what's, so I can't talk to that. But in terms of oil prices and whatnot, in terms of, I don't think Nigeria is going to be large. Well, there's Dangote refinery, but that's downstream. Upstream, we don't really have, Dangote is not really involved in the upstream sector. But if he was to be involved, that this would be a good tailwind for Dangote himself, in terms of the price of oil. But yeah, that's my submission. That's about it regarding the situation in Iran.
All right, but I still have
quick question for the.
Okay, go on.
Thank you. I didn't catch your name, speaker.
It's AKO or ECHO, yeah.
ECHO. Yeah, the key word they used in regards to Iran was that they are corrupt. Not like America is not corrupt for other nations. But in terms of the Iranians, the upper echelon, the IRGCC, they're super corrupt. And just like most African leaders, they send their kids overseas to Europe and America for schooling and to leave. They leave in largesse. Now the Khomeini is dead. What do you think? Do you think the IRGCC, do you think they have it in them to continue this battle, or do you think they will capitulate? Because at the end of the day, they love their skin too. They love themselves. Do you think the leadership remaining will continue this battle?
I don't think currently. I don't think there's any off ramp in this right now. I think it's going to be ongoing for a while before there's any possible. I think there was an attempt to make an off ramp, but the Iranians completely refused it. From
Italy, I heard.
Yeah, Italy was to act as a mediator, but they completely refused.
Larry, sorry, Echo.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Hold on, Hassan. Let me.
I want to go and wait. Pray and Ramadan now. I'm just going to ask you one question and go.
All right.
Okay. Echo. So, just as human beings, right, as we relate to each other and all that, the concept of honor, keeping your promises, honoring your commitments and all that. If you were to walk in the shoes of Iran, go back decades, you know, a lot of treaties, understandings, and all that, and so many betrayals up until the time, and assets frozen, economy sanctioned, and all that till the JCPOA, right? And after the JCPOA, Trump came, tore it up.
Yeah.
Everything to be betrayed over and
He
over and
betrayed,
over
yeah.
again.
He did.
Is it irrational for Iran to behave the way they do? Or
No, it's not. That's my point. That's my point.
Is
It's
it
not
that
whatever
people
they're doing is
just
not
are
irrational.
biased against them because they always get a bad rap?
Don't put words in his mouth now. Ask him the
I'm
question.
just
and then,
asking.
I'm
asking.
No, you're
I'm giving him options now. It's not as if.
No, you are teleguiding. Echo.
Okay. Okay. Let's leave it open ended. Is what they are doing irrational response or irrational?
I don't think that. I don't believe in the concept of irrationality. You know, there is no irrationality when it comes to these things. You have options. You choose the best. You choose what you think is the best option in the midst of the options you have and the resources that you have. So there is no irrational choice. That's my opinion regarding this. You know.
Thank you very much, guys. Good night. Everybody, bye.
Oh, all right. Cheers, Hassan. Let's see more of you, man. Let's see more of you. We like the honesty of your opinion, even though we often disagree. But thank you, Eko, as well. I was going to ask you a question, but it skipped my mind now. But in terms of the Nigerian situation, but already the price of Brent crude has spiked up, which is remember when we had the Iraq war, we had a boon, and it looks as though we're about to have another boon now. But the Dangote refinery that we rely on for our supply, a good abundance of the crude that he refines, he imports. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a spike in prices domestically, domestically for the consumer, but then a spike in oil revenue for the government. But then by extension also, it's going to lead to, so inflation is going to spike, the cost of living is going to spike, but then the country's revenue is going to spike too.
Yeah, I agree.
Completely. So how does all of that marry together?
I mean, it's not going to be good for Tinubu.
No, they so close to the elections as well. It's good
to the election cycle. You know, yeah, and just I think another thing is that the Iranians are very brilliant in the sense that what they've done, especially with the Strait of Hormuz, right?
Woman.
Yes.
Madam,
you brought somebody that came to your platform this morning and said that they did not attack Oman.
Really? We've gone past that one. Let me show you what let me show you. Let me show you what
that port they attacked in Oman is not Oman that owns it.
Let me show you what the latest development is. They've actually now started attacking oil tankers on the Straits of Hormuz.
Exactly.
And what's wrong in that?
But what's wrong with that? 20% of global oil movement transits. Do you know what that will mean? And you'll feel it by next week. Go to the shops next week.
It's now or never now.
Everything goes up 20%. Globally, everything goes up 20%. Go to the shops next week and then come and say what's wrong with that.
No, but we just have to do this. That's just the truth. Like it, hate it, pain here, no pain, no gain. This just have to be done. Period.
But what I'm going to say is that there's no victor, no vanquished in this war. Ultimately,
I don't care what you people say, but I just want them to see it, the place like Gaza. That's all.
Madam Zita,
and that's not going to be possible.
You know, the thing is this: all of us are just talking as if this is the war that has just started.
Yeah,
it has just started.
It's not going to last anyway. I don't think.
No, I don't think it's going to. Yeah.
One man. It's not going to last.
This is not a war that the US can win. That's what I'll tell you for sure.
They're not winning.
Please, it's not a war.
Wait.
Why do you want to have Iran like Gaza? That's kind of almost ridiculous.
Whatever the case is, there is an objective.
People that live there, they have families.
In this particular confrontation, US has an objective. Israel has an objective.
Exactly.
Right? And everybody
neither of those objectives will be achieved.
No.
Exactly.
You said neither of those objectives will be achieved. And when they've killed
US has basically killed almost 48 of those guys, the leaders. And you're saying they've not achieved anything?
52 now.
52 now. In how many hours?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how many they kill. I don't know. I don't think you understand.
Hold on, Larry.
You guys don't understand the depth of how Iran functions.
If this thing ends and that country is still under the control of the Islamic Republic,
it's always going to be under the control of them.
Then it has failed.
It seems you don't even understand the objective of the US, right? US has basically been targeting all the nuclear deposit of those guys. Israel is more interested in regime change. That's not even a US objective. Because if you heard what Trump said, they can never have nuclear weapon. And that's the target. Demystify them to the point that they can't get back from it.
Larry, it was trying to pacify the leadership, the RCGG, by offering. Now they've hired Khamenei, right? It's gone. But the leadership, they have succession, just like Woman said earlier, who takes over next.
Yeah, they have more hardliners. They even have people that are even harder than the Khomeini himself in terms of their philosophy, how they think.
And the pursuit of the nuclear weapon, right?
Oh, you think they've destabilized? No, this is just the beginning. They have more coming. Even Iran, the level of weapons, I think people don't even realize the level of sophisticated weapons that Iran has. You see all those drones that you say that they use, that's just small play. They have more specific, precise drones. Even their hypersonic missiles that they have. You guys are thinking Iran is a joke.
What I'm trying to do is gauge the commitment. I'm trying to gauge the commitment of this.
It's not a joke.
Iran is the most powerful nation in the world.
I'm not saying Iran is the most powerful nation. That's what I'm
trying to gauge the commitment of these people, if they can go in sustainable war with US and Israel, because if they cannot, the country will be taken over.
They can't sustain the momentum, right?
Okay.
Wait till tomorrow. Wait till next tomorrow. What you see, right? Because do you think
what you will see is called woto?
No, just hold on. Let's have one voice at a time. Did you? Who cannot sustain the momentum? Who amongst the two protagonists?
Iran.
Okay.
You'll be in for a shock.
Actually,
you're going to be in for a shock.
They can't sustain it, but even
I don't think the United States. I don't think the United States.
You're going to be in for a shock, Mr. Larry.
Yeah.
Oh no,
the
U.S. also is stretched, of course, given their support for the war between Russia and Ukraine. They are stretched also, and in fact, the information that is seeping out of the Pentagon and other sources was actually warning Trump against going for this war, because they don't think we have enough arsenal for a much prolonged or protracted war with Iran. Of course, we have more weapons and this and that than Iran. But the question, though, it's not about if Iran can go a year or two against the U.S. and Israel. Is Iran ready to do massive damage to U.S. assets and allies in the Middle East? Is the question.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. The more they can tie the right thing.
The more they can tie. Listen, the more they can. The more they can tie U.S. Personnel.
They'll continue.
The more dangerous and more.
To add to President, I just want to add to President's submission. The way the IRGC.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just add this as well. When the body bags, and by the way, I think the body count for America now, they're estimating about 200 American personnel killed. When the body bag starts to come,
Mama, where do you get that fact from? 200 American personnel.
I got it off news floating around, but just hold on. There are American casualties, irrespective of the figures.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and when the body bag starts to come home, you know how Americans
the pressure will be on Trump.
Yes, then they start to ask, what's the war about? Then they'll ask him, what exactly are we doing there?
Exactly.
And then he's not able to come up with a credible, because they've told us they want, yes. So
he's not going to, do you know why he's not going to be, wait, do you know why he's not going to be able to come credible? Because at the end of the day, this thing is all driven by Israel.
That's
the truth.
What man did you hear his declaration? He said they've been chatting debt to America. That was his justification. One of the justifications. That
was comical.
It was,
Come
on, Prince. It was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
It was.
That's the thing. Yes. See, we don't. Nobody cares for this war, really. And before the war, a survey was done, right? And Tucker Carlson made a presentation to Huckabee, the Israeli U.S. ambassador to Israel, and it's almost 80% of Americans are not in support of this war all around. Okay, but they push for the war anyways. And the downfall of Trump, and it's a kind of a trap also, even though the Democrats, they support this war, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, just like you said, one man, if the body bag keeps coming in, trust me, my guy, everybody's going to turn against Trump. They will, because we didn't sign up for this war.
And
we don't want American personnel.
He might win the midterms because of this war.
No,
you know, it's a talk rubbish.
No, he's
okay.
I'll even say that something I'll even add to the Iranians' capabilities is that they fight a different system of warfare, which is asymmetric warfare. They're not playing like US are just going to come and blitz your whole. They're very, very precise, very very strategic about, even the way that they attack the oil tankers. You notice they use like these small boats, these small dinghies, and they've basically managed to engineer in such a way that they can literally, if they want to, they can take down an aircraft carrier. They can take down a US aircraft carrier if they wanted to. But you notice they've had some restraints regarding that because they know what that's going to happen if they do that. So they're going to get nuked.
They're going to get nuked. Madam Sister, I'd like to hear your opinion about how Trump in the midterm.
So ultimately, the US is not going to win this war, and I don't see Iran winning this war.
What do you mean by winning the war?
No, guys, hold on. Everybody, hold on. I want Corner Tree to come into the conversation.
Yeah,
it's been with us for a good while, and we've not yet heard this submission. BT is here as well. But before we hear from Corner Tree, can everybody listening to us now, can you look at your device? If it's not saying subscribed, then can you click on it to say subscribed? So everybody listening to us now, interacting with the session, can you please make sure that you are subscribed? Corner Tree, you have 5 minutes. The conversation doesn't need any introduction. So it's Trump trying to start World War III, Corner Tree.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, and this is very important discussion. And I want to start by making a claim, and here's my claim. My claim is Israel is a security threat to the rest of the world. It's the biggest security threat to the world. It's actually not Iran.
Thank you so much.
It's the reason this has gone on for over 5 decades. And by the way, to my sister that believe that Tehran or Iran should become Palestine, that is very sad to hear that. But let me put that aside. This same Iran that they're accusing of all this nonsense for over the last 50 years, this was the same Iran that came to the rescue of Nelson Mandela and South Africans, the Black South Africa, when Israel and the United States were oppressing Black Africans in South Africa. This same Iran came to the rescue to help Lebanon out of Hezbollah. Hezbollah was born out of the invasion of Israel in Beirut in the 80s. That's where Hezbollah came from. Hamas came from the 80s to defend their land and people. If you look at where Tehran and this revolution, this Islamic regime that we call regime, what they have stood for in the last 50 years, they have been on the right side of history, while the propagandists, the people that we believe are so-called the guarantors of international law and morality and all the other BS and nonsense, they're the one committing genocide. We saw what they did in Gaza. They didn't even hide it. We see on their first strike in Iran, it's not an elementary school. And these are the same people that speak of women freedom, to be free. To be free from what? From the hijab? Oh, people, please. Iran, for over 250 years, have not invaded any country in the Middle East. Not alone anywhere else in the world. How many countries Israel have invaded in the last 2 years in the Middle East? How many countries Israel bombed in the last 2 years in the Middle East? It's insane. It's insanity how we see Israel participation in every conflict in Africa over the last 40, 50 years, including my own country, Sierra Leone, the Blood Diamond, where do you think all the diamonds that came out of Sierra Leone through Liberia end up? Where did they end up? Where did the guns come from? Instead, the report that came out of that war from the so-called United Nations, they blame Gaddafi. What is the interest of Gaddafi of having diamonds? Salon was broke in the 80s. If Gaddafi won diamonds so much, Gaddafi would just come to Salon and bribe the President Momo government and take over any diamond mine in Sierra Leone. It does not need, what is the strategic interest for Gaddafi to have war in Sierra Leone? No one can answer that. But there is a strategic interest for Israel. Through the Epstein files, we see that Epstein, through the Epstein files, we see that Epstein himself requested through the State Department for visa. No, hold on. For visa to go to Sierra Leone. This is right after the war. My brothers and sisters,
he also went to Cote d'Ivoire as well.
Yes.
To supply them surveillance technology.
Yes. Their hands in the wars in Africa up to today, and we see that in Sudan today. We see them helping UAE with the genocide that is happening in Sudan today. My brothers and sisters, everything that we know in the last 50 years, we know from the so-called Washington Post, the CNN, the BBC, all these are propaganda machines. We all see that blatantly during the Gaza genocide. No one can deny that. They defend Israel to the teeth. These are the same people when the war started with Russia, they indict President Putin within 1 week for war crimes. How many times Benjamin Netanyahu have come to the White House in the last year? I'm very much around the country. There's so many nuances in this. And as to go to Iran itself, from day one.
Sorry, Konotri, before you go to Iran, there was something you said earlier that maybe it needs a bit more expansion rather than it's just being just a glaze over. You were talking about the Epstein files, and there's a narrative that says this whole war actually wraps around the Epstein files. There are about 50 pages of redacted documents missing from that file. And people say that those 50 pages actually implicate Donald Trump. And a lot of people are actually arguing that this war is a diversionary war to move global attention away from the Epstein files. Is that a conspiracy theory, or is there something in it?
No, it's true now.
No. It's 100%. It's walk the dog theory. That this is 100%. We all know the pressure on the Epstein file is there. We all know the Attorney General Bondi, the blonde lady, just last week said there will be no more release of the Epstein file, even though we know there's more than 3 million more that is still not released, not to even talk about the reduction.
Mr.
And we do know, let me just land this point, my brother. We do know Israel, because Epstein, 100%, what this file
was an agent for Mossad.
Was an agent for Mossad. Well, not just for Mossad, for every 3-letter agency around the world, because he worked with all of them. He worked with all of them, not just for the Mossad, all of them. That's why he had contacts with every leader in the planet. That's why he was able to make every kind of deal to every country in the world. So, I mean, all I can say is with this Iran thing, you go back to Iran. From day one, they have accused Iran of nukes. From day one, Iraq denies it. The Khomeini that they just killed issue a fatwa way back that they will never ever create nukes. The reason they believe that they will never create nuke, according to his, this is documented. According to him, the reason why, because if he does that, it will open a Pandora box in the Middle East. And by the way, Saudi have nukes. Who do you think funded Pakistan to build nukes? It's Saudi.
Yep.
That was a trade-off. Where will Pakistan coming with that? Can afford that during that time? It's Saudi Arabia. That's why today we see this pact with Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. Follow the dot. Make the connections, my brothers and sisters. What I would recommend, especially with what's going on around the world today, follow Drop Site News.
3 more minutes, Colonel. 3 more minutes.
Well, I will stop here for now and allow other people to go on if they have any questions or if they want me to expand.
Excellently put. This is not your first time here. I remember you from our previous conversations. This is
yes, sir.
Yeah, well done. Yes. You had a question.
Mr. Omar, I just wanted to say regarding you, Trump is actually the most compromised president we've ever seen in the US. And the reason why I say that is because Mossad has a lot of intel that relates to his activities with Epstein. And I wouldn't be surprised if Israel used that as leverage for him to do what he's doing now. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that.
My brother, not to cut you off, but to show that is nothing, Israel used that same tactics against Bill Clinton in the 90s because they had information about Monica Lewinsky.
Yep.
The blackmail President Clinton in the 90s. They have blackmailed every president. If you understand what's going on, the last president that actually stood up to them was JF Kennedy.
Yeah.
And if you start following the connection with JF Kennedy, it takes you to a dark place. You hear me? It takes you to a dark place. Since after JFK, everyone else just follow what they have been told.
Okay, guys, that's the word on the street regarding Trump's. Sorry, Omar, regarding Trump.
No, the floor is actually yours now. So, carry it. 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, there's word on the street about this Trump being compromised by Israel, but I'm still still don't fully agree with that. Why? Because again, before Trump came back the second time, the Democrats were fully in charge of the Epstein file, and they could have done whatever they wanted to do. Are you telling me that they knew there's something so compromised by Trump, and they refused to make it known to the world? So in order to prevent this guy from coming
Prince
back.
Daddy, I have the perfect answer to that question, but I'll let you finish your submission first before I answer that question.
Okay, sure. So that's why, if you ask me, listen, the Israel and its we call it supporters, right, like Miriam Edison and many others. This past election, the group of Jewish people, want to say, or Israelis that donated to Trump, okay, even though small in number, I would say, but the amounts, if you ask me, by my estimation, was about $500 million. So this is politics. There's nothing new to it. If you put money forward and you support a candidate, you expect that candidate to do something for you. So it's quid pro quo. There's nothing so special about that. And we all know for a very long time that Israel is wanting to decapitate Iran as a country and to get rid of the Ayatollah. And so Trump happens to be the guy that's able to do it for them, not because it's so much compromise. It's just quid pro quo and business as usual, if you ask me. Back to Iran. Okay, so what is going on right now? It's what would bring this war to an end quickly would be the toll on American personnel in the Middle East, right? Trump, no matter what you say about Trump does not want the death of American soldiers. He doesn't want that. I mean, that's one thing I know for sure. He doesn't care for that. It would, if anything, it would throw up the white flag right now, tomorrow, if they fight 2,000-3,000 American soldiers. He's not going to take that. Apart from the pressure that's going to come up internally here in his government, people are going to push back hard. So that's the point. But Iran, again, what has happened to Iran, the kind of the leader, right, comes down again to the IRGC leadership. If they are able to sustain this war for a long period of time, meaning that attack U.S. assets and try to cause as much damage as possible. And I'm not sure that they're ready to do that in the long run, because they themselves, they are super corrupt. Apart from all the sanctions that the West, especially the U.S., has on Iran.
Issue of fact, back in the 80s, this fact is declaring that they will never create.
Apart from the sanction, these people, the leadership, they're like African leaders. They are super corrupt. They could have done a lot of things for their people. Make partnership. Do away with a lot of things, but they didn't do that. They're not doing it. They are as selfish as the next corrupt African leader. So, but my question is that I don't think they are ready to go all the way in this fight. But again, based on the hierarchy of the leadership, the lower level leaders, if they come to the top, they may have nothing to lose, and they may be willing to go all the way and create more chaos and damage to America in the Middle East. We talk about Israel in this, obviously, and that's why people like Tucker Carlson is pushing back, because they don't really see the benefit of America in this war. They don't see the benefit at all. Iran does not have any ballistic missile or any weaponry that they can deploy that can reach any coastal part of the United States. They cannot. Israel is the main target there in the Middle East, and of course the U.S. allies. So this war, it's almost an unforced war, as they're saying. It's almost a war of choice, as many Americans have put in it to Trump and his leadership. So it's the sooner the better that the war comes to an end, and Trump sees that, and that's why he's trying to use diplomatic means to bring the war to an end, because it doesn't serve America's interest in the long run. But for every count of American soldier, the worse it looks for Trump. It's not going to serve him well. And to Madam Zita's point earlier about it's going to help Trump in the midterm. I'd like to understand how she comes about that conclusion actually. Because right now, the Democrats are going to take advantage of it. Now, officially, we have three American personnel died. That's the official number that I know. Even one too many, and even people that are Trump supporters are already talking about it. That's one too many. Now we have three. Imagine tomorrow we have 100 or 200. People are not going to take that. And again, Trump knows that. So the quicker it brings the whole thing to an end, the better. On the issue of diplomacy, one thing I'm going to fault Trump with greatly is that in diplomatic transaction, you have to call off the what you call it, the negotiation if you're not going any further. You don't attack or you don't do something ridiculous during negotiation. When you call off a negotiation, then we know clearly that there's no way forward. Then you can take actions whichever way you want it. But you can't be in a negotiation with the Iranians, and in the middle of the negotiation, you attack them. He did it the first time.
That's
He's doing it the second
crazy.
time. That's just a total breakdown of international norm. It's not that Trump cares about international norm or law, but that's pretty bad. It set a really bad precedent in the global stage. Because now, a lot of people don't trust America anyways, but now there's no way we're going to trust Americans to negotiate in a fair manner. To me, it just looks really, really bad. I'm a big Trump supporter, but the way it's gone about it is not good for America's image at all. And then we have the rest of the Europeans. Now, your countrywoman, the UK or the England
3 more
is
minutes,
behind.
Prince. 3 more minutes. Carry on.
Sure. Yeah. Keir Starmer is behind the war, and these other European countries, right? They, anything that, and by the way, also, as much as the Democrats push against Trump, during the State of the Union, they all stood up and clapped for Trump when it came to the war. So all these people are just warmongers. Okay, it was the UK and the Germans that pushed all the way for the damn war in Ukraine. That people have been piloted already. Got maybe 1 or 2 million people already between both sides.
Exactly.
Between both sides. So the need for this bloodthirsty leaders, they're not serving the global community. They're just not serving the global community. And none of them can contain Trump anyways. They can't contain him. So they have to jump on board from Australia to Germany to the UK. They all jump on board. So in today's world, we are in a really dicey situation with Trump's approach to the global on the global stage. Not because, and one thing I'd like to mention before I wrap up, before Trump came on board, not because things were going well anyways. No, Trump is just more brash about the way he goes about things. Before Trump came on stage, this global community, they were not doing anything anyways. They're still the whole place was still in chaos. I mean, keep in mind, Russia and Ukraine was there before Trump came on board. So these people themselves, they don't do much. But Trump just happens to be an easy target to point a finger at and say he did this and that because of his approach. But the rest of these leaders, they're not any better. Thanks, Woman.
All right. Did you say you wanted to add something before we go on to BT AKO?
No, I didn't want to. You can go ahead.
All right. BT, floor is yours. Baba T. Odenio, you want to be finessed now. Baba T, are you there?
Baba T is not here. Is here?
It's there. It's the one using the name Laja.
Oh, that's Baba T. Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah, that's Baba T. BT. Ola Lajangbanyo. If you are not talking about Ogun State, he's not interested. All right. Does anyone else have anything to say? We may take it to the background. If we don't have BT, then we may take it to the background. Let me send the link in. If anybody wants to come in now, because at any moment from now we'll take it.
I'm happy with the submission that Prince Daddy and Konotri made, because I think that's one thing people fail to understand, that this will have a very will set a very bad precedent in terms of Trump's presidency, because the more the Americans die, because to be honest, no American needs to die from. Like, I don't see the business with America decided to fight Iran. Like, it's kind of like a point of no return. I liken it to the same way Napoleon decided to try to basically evade the Russians, and he ended up he ended up losing in when you think about it. It's the same thing when I think about Iranians. I don't see how Americans will come on the top of this. They can never come on the top of this with Iran, because at the end of the day, Iran, yes, they are corrupt, but their system is so entrenched to the point that they have succession plans for 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are going to replace the next Khomeini or the next committee of the Supreme Council. That's the way they function, you know.
What man? Good morning.
Oh, Mr. Aragidi. Oh yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, please. Go ahead.
I've you know what? I've actually tried to avoid this whole conversation because it's distasteful all around. There's really nothing pleasant about it. But one thing I want us to realize is this: that even the interjections of our North American friends in recent years has really been because of their fear of the influence of the Chinese in global affairs. And I think one of the things that this administration and the previous administrations have really failed to do is they failed to arrest the development of the Chinese. And I think...
Sorry, Adebuda, 1 second. Can every single person that is listening to us now make sure that you're subscribed? Look at your devices. If it's not saying subscribe in the past tense, then click on it so it says subscribed in the past tense. We're pushing hard to increase our numbers in terms of subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed. Sorry, carry on, Naro.
So they failed to arrest the development of the Chinese. And I think one party that will be very keen observers will be the Chinese. The Chinese will be very keen observers as to how the Americans conduct their business and the extent to which they can deploy and the extent to which they can cause some damage and whatnot. I think the Americans are playing their hands too much. I think they've been brought to this condition, like Prince Daddy and someone else suggested, because there's some other interests external to their country that has leverage over some leadership.
Please
Sorry?
about this interest, please.
Oh, well, I mean, I think
I don't think he wants to say who the interest, but we all know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
We were calling you now, and you didn't speak. But carry on, Naro.
You know, I don't know if I'm about to bad meaning. It's okay.
No, BT, go back, you don't come again. This Ogun State people. So I think that's what it is. I think there's an amount of leverage, and you can see the response of the Iranians. You can see one thing that we need to understand is this: we think of the Middle East as one collective block. But I want us to look at the history of the individual states in that Middle East. Yeah. And look at the interests of not because we think of them as states, but really they're not states. They are fiefdoms.
Yeah.
They are fiefdoms. And you need to look at Iran. Iran used to be ruled by a Shah, who was a kinsman of the same people. They might not be related by blood, but they were related by interest. They were kings. They had fiefdoms. Why is Saudi Arabia somewhat not fully aligned with Egypt? And why did they let what happened to Egypt go along and happen to Egypt in the Six-Day War?
Exactly.
Because the Egyptians at the revolution, they got rid of their king.
Yeah.
Why did they let the same thing happen in Lebanon? Because the Lebanese at the revolution got rid of who was the ruler. You need to look at these fiefdoms, the UAE and Qatar and all these emirates. The individuals that continue to dominate those areas under dictatorial rule, because really that's what it is.
Yeah.
They are kings. They are dictatorial in manner. They've been able to whitewash the fact that they are dictators and they are kings and absolute rulers, but that's really what they are. Those individuals are also trying to defend their own interests. and they have an ally in Jerusalem, essentially. And one of the reasons why some people suggest that the Palestinians, they forced the hand in the September 7th event was because they tried to force the hand because Saudi Arabia were going to have an official arrangement, an official recognition of the state of Israel. And they essentially what they did was to force the hand of Saudi Arabia to seize that plan. So you have to understand that what's happening there really is kind of like a chess game. I think as Africans, I think it's in our best interest to stick our nose clear out of it. We have no business in it. I think as individuals, I think what we should do is to try and develop ourselves technologically, advance our society. We need to be very serious. We need to have a plan for the future because like someone said, yes, sir.
How would you address the protest of your friends up north? Since you said
well, they can be allowed to protest.
Sorry, Aro. There's no way Nigeria can stay out of it. The Shia presence in Nigeria is too strong.
Okay.
And they are too militant as well. They are already.
Aro.
So let me address that. Let me address that.
How would you deal with that situation? Is the question.
Okay. There's a failure of the institution of state in Nigeria. The institution of state in a serious country does not care for all that kind of nuisance. You let people be a nuisance, but the institution of state continues to hold on to the authority and the absolute authority. So you let people do their little stuff. Let people do their protest, satisfy their little desires. But we are talking about the institution of state. You look at China. What China have is an absolute institution of state. I mean, Chinese people, they have their little, complaints. But you have a state that understands the absolute interest, the common interest, beyond the small interests of a group of people. You can't stop them from protesting. The same way you can't stop Khan from protesting. You can't stop Obedience from protesting. You can't stop Baptists from protesting. You can't stop. But there has to be an institution of state that looks after the absolute interest, that sees beyond today and tomorrow. That is what we don't have. We lack it desperately. So, and also some of the parties that claim to be protesting in the north, it's all political. It doesn't go far. It's not. And you also have to understand that in the north, okay, you have the Shiites, you have the Shia, you have the Shiites, and you have the other sect. They are both being funded by external parties. So you have the Saudi Arabians paying for scholars to come and do scholarly work. They give them money, they fund them, they throw money to them, throw around. But the Iranians have been doing that for years as well. So there's all manner of different people throwing money around to these scholars. So these scholars are not doing it because they have any personal interest. They are doing it for personal gratification, essentially, for the money. They are not doing it because they have any particular strong conviction.
Let me play you this. Let me play you this.
Isn't that treason?
Aro, to relegate this to just funding from.
Sorry, that was in Kaduna earlier on. So
isn't that a treasonable offense?
How so?
I thought flying another country's flag in Nigeria.
No, that's
not
treasonable. No. Sorry, guy.
But that was earlier on in Kaduna. So Nigeria is already involved. Carry on.
Yeah, sorry. My point to you is this: beyond the funding, you don't think that there's a fundamental belief in Like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, exactly. People are a sect.
Saying that, no, you kept saying that because of that getting funded. I'm like, beyond the money, there's something else going on with these people.
Well, that's why I say that's what I meant earlier on by the failure of states. We have a state apparatus.
That's what the money is meant to achieve. You are
Yes.
funding scholars so that the scholars can come here and make disciples. And when they
Yeah.
make disciples, these are the kind of people they make. And then one of their disciples might have a nut head and go and make Boko Haram. And make
Okay, that failure, that failure of state. How do you feel? No, because sorry, it brought up the failure of states. We get it. How can Tinubu solve that problem? Because we don't want it to go.
Tinubu cannot solve it. It's not Tinubu's problem to solve.
It's community leaders.
It's not community leaders.
Sorry, everyone. I really do have to take it to the back.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to come in. We'll carry on still in the background. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Guys, carry on. I'll shut it down.
See you, one man. Thank you. So it's